Great ball, set cross. Yeah! Saint game! It's not a dream! Dream, man! Live it up, Blue Boy! Live it up!
Hey, everybody. It's Noise Neighbors Podcast. It's me, Joey McHugh, joined as always by Mark Mulvaney. All right, Mulv?
What's up, pal? You all right?
Yeah.
What's up, everyone?
I thought you would just like blast it off into space and I didn't know about it. I was really, I don't know, surprised, confused.
Yeah.
I thought you had gotten involved in the drug world and I didn't. That's not something I wanted to see. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe things, I don't know. It's been a tough year. A tough year for all of us.
It has, mate. It has.
Mulv, how are you doing with COVID? I started doing meth. We all have ways we cope.
Let's go. What we talking about here?
Oh,
what we doing?
This. Okay. I have a
Drogas
Sierra Nevada Summer Break Session Hazy IPA. How do I do this again?
Nice one.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, good noise.
Cheers, pal.
Yeah. Sláinte.
Cheers.
Yeah, hi everybody. This is the
Everyone.
Noise Neighbors Podcast. This is a call-in we do sometimes. Anyway, I'm Joey. That's Mulv. Yeah, it's kind of a Friday free-for-all. So, City have won the league. That's what's up.
Champions!
In it.
Thank you, Fabian. So here's how this thing works. If you haven't been here before, we will put a link in the chat. You guys can click on it. As long as you've got headphones and a mic, and a camera,
and all your clothes on.
Yeah, and it's a chest up shot. Then you're good. You just click on that link. It'll take you to a web browser. You type in your name and where you're from, and then it'll put you in our queue down below, and we'll bring you onto the show. Before we do any of that, though, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and go ahead and click on Helen's bell if you're on YouTube. That way you get notified anytime we are posting a new video or going live.
Helen's bell. Love it.
Yeah. Well, notifications bell is just boring.
Yeah.
You know? It is Helen's bell.
Yeah. Ollie knows what's up. With
True.
Helen's bell.
Yeah, we have one of our friends that's in the chat broke Helen's bell. So, tight. This was up. How's your how's things been since when did we talk? Wednesday. Still just chilled out? Do you care at all about this weekend, or you're just like, let's lift the trophy and whatever happens?
Well, this weekend is Sergio Aguero's last game at the Etihad.
True.
Outside of his testimonial or whatever. So I'm trying to block that out. I'm trying not to get in my feels too much until Sunday, but
right.
I'm going to be a bit of a mess, I think.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Stanley, I'm not going to rule that out because I did say chest up. So you never know. So yeah. How's everybody doing in the chat? Thank you so much for hanging out. I guess we'll go ahead and drop the link in there. Anything you've got to that you want to talk about? Go ahead and do you want to do that, Mulv?
There's loads, mate. Yeah, I can do it. There's loads to talk
Cool.
about. We got transfers, we got Champions League final, we
really do have all the kind of social media talking points all in just a few days. You've got manager leaving, maybe going to a big club. Big striker wants to leave one club to go to another one. A kit drop.
Kits.
Big player leaving a club like Aguero. Champions League finals a week away. Tons of stuff. So hopefully you folk want to talk about stuff.
Yeah, Chris Hernandez, you're right, mate.
Yeah. I did see
Blubbering.
someone. I saw they're gonna do like a thing after the match, like after the trophy presentation. I think that there's gonna be a special thing for Kun.
So if you're in the States on Sunday, City are going to be on CNBC, right? Which is good.
Okay.
Also
Good to
on
know.
Peacock, but on CNBC.
Can't get behind that.
That's fine. Then what you want to do at full time is you want to switch to regular NBC. and they're going to have the trophy presentation. So CNBC or Peacock,
Yeah.
NBC at full time.
So how will we know about the stocks on Sunday morning?
Yeah, just try to, maybe have it on your phone. You know,
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
maybe buy another television very quickly.
I just wanted to make sure because
Yeah, no, I
you
know
know,
you. I know you keep it.
yeah,
up with
I'm
shit.
big into money and stock markets. So if we're gonna take something to the moon, I want to be able to make sure that I can, you know, Dogecoin is a name that I've heard. Other things. Yeah, what do we got going on? Where's everybody watching from?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Texas represented here. That's
Yeah.
great. A lot of Dallas suburbs represented.
True. It must be is it raining in Dallas? That's why everyone's here. Pretty funny move. Yeah, Gaz, I think Birmingham, UK.
Yes,
All
who's
right.
that?
Jay.
Jay. What's up, Jay?
So-called Jay.
Birmingham.
Yeah.
Home of the
Home of-
Shelbys.
True. I was going to say Birmingham City Football Club, but also I guess Shelby Mustangs. I don't know. Minneapolis, Clifton, New Jersey. That's basically where Mark was.
Yeah, Clifton. What's
Right.
up, Clifton? Big
Clifton.
big Mets fans, probably. Big Giants fans.
Clifton the Big Red Dog. Wasn't that? Yeah, Jay, actually, if you could, pal. Yeah, if you could get Jack on the horn and just you know, tell him how cute we think he is.
He's another big flirt, mate. Him and Kane flirting.
Jack Grealish is the biggest flirt. He's just walking around with his calves all out, batting his eyes, flipping his hair around. What are you? Come on. We're not supposed to look. We're gonna look.
Syracuse, New York is here.
Big Italian thing.
Mm-hmm. Patrick from Australia, what's up, mate?
Yeah, it's already Sunday there, I believe.
Twerking for KDB is what Gaz calls it. Yeah, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Oh, here we go. He's had enough of the small talk.
Yeah, he's like, all right, shut up, idiots. Go on, you two fatzos, get to talking.
Do you want to ask this question of our first guest?
Maybe we should.
Our first caller. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. All the way from Canada.
Yes.
It is. Let me get all this queued up. Is our friend Missy Mike.
Hell yeah.
What's up, mate?
What up, Mike?
Hey, how's it going, Joey and Mulv?
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Well, after we were attacked.
Yeah,
we had to take an internet hiatus.
Yeah, I felt that.
You did?
Yeah.
I have to say, though, that was quite a clever trick that they pulled on all of us, I think. Not condoning it, but
I'm going to try it. Tonight.
Not on this podcast. Maybe
you do that shit on the Twitch, mate.
True.
There you go.
I'm going to go on City Extras Twitch and do it.
All right, Mike.
Just don't have that background. They might recognize it.
Mike,
True.
The chat wants to know if you picked up any new teams since we last talked.
Oh God. Well, I'm not gonna. I got a TFC sticker on my wall here. I got Dortmund. I have City, Juve, but to be honest, City and Juve are my loves. You know what I mean? So,
you need two hands, Joey. Two hands.
The other clubs are strictly physical. There's no.
It's just kind of the other. They're really. I mean, gotta represent Toronto. When you're actually able to go see a TFC game,
local club with you.
They
there.
used to be pretty exciting. They're on the up. They're signing guys from the Brazilian league. So let's go.
Who was that? Who was that guy who was just ripping it up?
Sebastian Giovinco.
That guy.
Juventus. The Italian. Yeah, I watched him at Juve, ripping in some free
Then
kicks, and then he went over to Toronto. I was like, well, that couldn't have really worked out that much better for me.
True.
He was
Well,
great.
that's the nicest thing about supporting like 48 clubs is
Yeah,
when the
you get to
transfer happens,
see
the
you get to
odds
see
are
a
just
lot of people, right?
true.
Yeah,
The odds are through the
I
roof. You
get
get to
it.
see somebody in your shirt.
I was a very open-minded person when I started watching football, and I've become more closed-minded as it's kind of
Yeah, we're
gone
gonna
over the past 10 years.
bully you.
It's all right. It's okay.
Keep going, mate. Keep being
Yeah.
more close-minded.
Yeah, no, I'm almost at the level of Atwell there, so I don't know if I can get worse.
Ooh, shots.
He shall not be named. Yeah.
We have two now.
Hey, so the question was before you came on, mate, Haaland or Kane? Or neither. Or both.
Yeah, I would love Haaland to come over. He's just a freak. He's amazing. He's got amazing hair. He runs like a weirdo. Kane, I really don't like. I don't know why. Because of Spurs fans, because he's kind of dirty and hip checks people in the air.
Is it something to do with his mouth? How he's like a walking fly trap?
Yeah,
The
something
Eli
about
Manning of the
Spurs.
Premier League.
Something about Spurs I just don't like, and I don't know. But I was thinking I was gonna bring up a question: are we gonna get a striker, or are we gonna get a midfielder instead? Because I know we've been linked with Madison, Grealish. I know Kane, Haaland.
Don't let Pep decide.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I'm scared he's gonna go for a midfielder. I'd like one, sure, but I think the priority has to be striker, and like we've kind of discussed, a left back that can get up and down, and especially maybe defend a little bit. That would be nice.
I swear to you, mate, he relishes when anybody like the strikers, the fullbacks, the centre backs, the keepers get injured. He relishes it because that's his chance to put a midfielder in.
Another one.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, he's already put Dino back there, right? Yeah. So I don't know who's next. Everybody's a midfielder. Ederson's a midfielder, so he's sticking Cancelo in midfield. So
yeah,
I'm going for definitely getting a striker, mate, because I don't think they would have let Aguero go otherwise.
Yep.
They're not going to leave themselves short up front, and I think that the false nine strategy has been great and is a nice
it's a good plan,
trick.
like a side plan,
it's another plan.
A1 and A2 with a striker type of thing.
But I think he's going to want the flexibility and the diversity of a proper striker in there. I'm
just worried we're going to end up with like Ings potentially and waiting a season to get Haaland. Like, I don't want that to happen. I want us to go. I want us to do it now. Because you see, even in our games, maybe when we're playing with the false nine, you see a lot of crosses go in the box, and like no one's there. No one's even like trying to be there. And it's like, okay, if we had Haaland or somebody else, they'd be in that position. Then you kind of have to question, if we were playing with a striker, would we have so many of these opportunities and crosses and what have you? But I don't know. I just think you need a striker. Call me weird and odd.
I think, mate, the big loss with Aguero is the natural finisher, right? And there just aren't enough of them in the squad. Like Torres might be that guy. Delap might be that guy. But in the immediacy, you have to replace a natural finisher with a natural finisher.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying, Joey?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, we will get a striker this summer. The Danny Ings thing, I kind of put that in the same category as when we were linked with Johnny Evans. Like, it's a dumb story that gets put out in the media just to drum up interest, I think. But there's no way we go for Danny Ings. I think it's more likely that we get. I mean, at this rate, it seems more likely that we get Kane, but I would prefer Haaland because I think there's just you've got a longer time that you can have him on the team. I mean, for a fact, unless Kane somehow discovers the fountain of youth and can play for 10 to 15 more years, it's just not going to happen. So I think Haaland would be my choice. I
think Dortmund just made Champions League though, so I'm kind of scared.
Don't matter. It's a selling club. They've always been a selling club.
They made
the Champions League and sold Pulisic. they let Lewandowski go to Bayern for free. Like that's what they do. They don't. Dortmund has never fought anybody off because
No, God no. They just want to buy
we're in
another
the Champions
bargain.
League.
They just
Okay,
want
who
to show the
cares?
world that they can find another bargain and turn them into, a top player that it's just gonna walk away and leave. Sadly,
Right.
it's kind of the epitome of the club. As hard as they try,
Yep.
but they're up
Yeah,
against pretty big villains in Bayern. So
True. Yeah, I would take Grealish. Grealish and Haaland would be fun, but I don't know where the hell Grealish plays.
we need
In
some of
our-
that Super League money. That's
in
like
our- in our
250
side.
bills right there.
True.
It's just Manscaped money, mate.
The Sheik's paying for everyone's trips to Porto, so can he
That's right.
dig deep again and give us some coin for Haaland?
Disgusting flaunting his money like that.
How dare he care about his fans?
I hate it. Yuck.
Foreign
Needs to
owners,
stay out of the game.
just
All right.
ruining it all.
Mike, let's address this from Vid586. Is Messi a 0% chance now?
I don't know. I never thought he'd come to City, and last year I think I got my hopes up, and I don't think we're at that level again. I don't think we're as close as we were last year. I think his best buddy Sergio's gonna, walk over there, and much as I'd love to have kind of Messi at City, I wouldn't want Sergio to go there in hopes of playing with him and, not kind of him not be there. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna leave Barca. I don't think, as much as a terribly run club that they are, I think he just loves it there. Pep keeps saying that he wouldn't want to take him. Pep should be more ruthless and be calling him up every Saturday. But I guess he might have a thing for Barcelona. I don't know. I guess he played there once or twice. I'd love to see him, but I don't know. I think we'll end up with Kane and probably a decent midfielder from the Premier League. Daniel Levy's probably pretty pissed after that golf walking interview. So I don't know how that's going to hurt things.
Well, that's the thing about one of the things about Kane is, people are like, well, I saw at 017 said that Haaland's a good buy, but he's 150 million. Well, Kane's going to be at least 100, right? So it's 100 for a short-term fix.
Maybe 5 years if we're lucky.
I think 5 years is pushing it. So say 3 years from now, 4 years from now, we're back in the market having to do this all over again, and we won't make any money on Kane. And we're going to have to pay him through the roof because it's probably reigning Golden Boot winner, multi-time top scorer, I'm pretty sure, star for England, homegrown, the only proven striker in terms of like consistent output at the club. Like he has so much leverage. So if City pay the transfer fee, Kane then has so much leverage in his negotiations with us that it's like, okay, yeah, it might be 100 million for him to join, but then there is another 50 million or some stupid number out there in terms of all the bonuses and wages and incentives and stuff we're going to have to throw at him. And at that point, just spend the money on Haaland then. If we're already going to spend the money, then spend it on a guy you're going to have for a decade.
I think that's why Kane is being so vocal right now, is to try to bring all of those numbers down.
I'm sure he is. Unfortunately,
no, but you're talking
Daniel
about how
Levy
much
doesn't
money
drop
he's going to
prices.
want. I don't actually think he's going to want as much as Haaland. I initially thought Haaland wasn't going to cost that, be that expensive on wages, but the more I listen to some other shows, people a lot smarter than me, they seem to think that his wages would actually be more than Kane's. So
because of Raiola.
Yeah.
Because of the agent. I don't know if that's Kane's. I don't know if that's Haaland so much as it's his fat scumbag of an agent.
Yeah, he'll push for the edge and go over it. That guy, he's a terrible person, I think. But we definitely go for Haaland. We should push. I think he wants to be here. He's a Blues fan, even though he's apparently supports Leeds United. So there's some of us out there that kind of support more than one team, I guess.
I guess there are. Yeah.
at least not in the same league. You know what I mean? Like,
Mike, thanks so much for calling in, mate. It's always a pleasure.
No worries. Thanks, Joey. Thanks, Mulv.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. We'll see you,
mate.
Appreciate it. Take care.
There he goes.
All right.
Missy Mike.
Let's catch up over here. What are we talking about?
All
Who's
popping
on-
off in the chat. Haaland and Aguero.
Yeah, I don't know. I really worry about Kane's injuries. I know he'll get to rotate, maybe. I mean, we say yeah, but look how many
wouldn't he?
games does Gundogan get to rotate really when we're going for it? Does Kevin get to rotate really when we're trying to win everything? No, they don't.
Yes to both.
They played most of that 21 game winning streak. Or 23 games.
No. But they rested in they rested throughout. Like, and they're resting now at the end of the season.
Well,
they would absolutely
the rest at the end of the season because they've been playing nonstop for like 3 months.
I would argue that we're probably one player short in the midfield.
Okay.
But up front is where we have an abundance of players, right? So Kane would be in the mix in the front, and would absolutely get rest if he needed to. And the City Extra boys did a great video on this. I don't know if you saw it. They sort of make the case for Harry Kane, and just watch it. It's good. It'll make you feel really good about the
I'm not
possibilities
completely against
No,
Kane.
I know you're not. I know you're
I'm
not.
just looking financially. It seems crazy to me to spend $100 million now and then have to do more than that in 3 years for one position.
I mean, maybe he's the bridge to Delap. I don't know.
Even
There's every
Delap.
chance Delap could be as good as Haaland.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen him play in the Premier League for more than like 10 minutes. I mean, he is tearing apart.
Haaland playing in the Premier League at all.
Right, he's been busy in the Bundesliga and the Champions League, but he's a proven goal scorer.
No, I'm not discounting Haaland either. And I think you and I said this quite well on the show the other day, is that we're sort of okay with either. Am I right?
Kind of, sort of.
In the end?
I would prefer Haaland because I know Kane is a short-term fix. Like there's no way we get to the end of that 3 or 4 year contract with Kane and we're not spending a ton of money again.
Yeah, we got a lot of that.
We do, but we're also but like, so we can't on one hand say we have unlimited money and we can spend it on anything, but then we're also constantly in court fighting battles over the money we spend. So I just don't see that UEFA is going to stop doing this crap and trying to punish us.
I think they are. I think they took their L.
I don't know.
Now we're Bessie mates.
I think that's a very short-term thing because we're back now and they're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Somebody in the Champions League final is going to be here next year. We don't have to worry about them leaving.
All right. Let's bring on another guest, mate.
Okay.
All right. Canada again.
Yeah.
They're just breeding noisy neighbors, listeners. It's
obviously
brilliant. Here he is. Dicky Bitters.
Ooh, definitely going to bring some positivity.
Oh, look at this.
All right, lads, how are we?
You all
look
right?
At you, fancy boy.
Look at me. I'm in the world famous Blue Moon Beer Garden.
Oh, fantastic.
It's like 31 degrees Celsius.
So it's like
which is
406
stupid numbers Fahrenheit. But I don't know. Like I grew up in England, so I can only do Celsius and Fahrenheit between like 0 and 20 because nothing else was ever a factor.
87.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
Betty Swallocks. It's Betty Swallocks. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Don't know what that means.
We're getting into Manscaped territory there, lads.
So what you thoughts, got, mate? What's going on?
Just weighing in on the whole Haaland Kane thing. I'm with Joey. He's a mouth-breathing Cockney bastard at the end of the day, isn't he? Like,
cannot deny that. I cannot deny it.
And he's snidey. Like, I've hated him ever since we've been playing him. And like the thought of him taking over from Sergio just makes me a little bit sick in my mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's got United written all over him. I mean, he's instantly hateable. Big money. No sell-on value at the end of his contract, whatever that might be.
Yep.
It just doesn't fit City's profile. Like, I would sooner see us go with Jesus and Ferran and a false nine, and occasionally the lap possibly next season, and see where it lands us. I mean, it's.
I'll stay.
Hey?
Yeah.
He's sticking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay.
I'll stick. I'll
got-
stick.
Yeah.
I just don't like the guy. I'm sorry. I mean, and I was listening to the Blue Moon pod today, and they were talking about it too. And a couple of the lads on there were saying, well, yeah, a couple of matches in, when he bangs them in, it might be different. But he's taken over from Sergio. You know what I mean? And those are small shoes but big shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are big shoes to fill, aren't they?
Oh,
Emotionally as well.
I just had this awful thought of say it is Kane, right? So Kane comes in, he wears the number 10 now, obviously, because that's the number he's going to get. We've spent $100 million on him. His ankles go immediately, and we've spent $100 million on the Sergio Aguero replacement that's never fit. So we basically have the Ben Mendy situation up front, where it's just a ton of money for a guy that never plays.
The fitness thing is a bit of a myth, actually, and again, I would refer you to the City Extra video on this. In that, Harry Kane's injury woes are more down to Tottenham than they are to Harry Kane. In that, he's been so valuable to them, and they've failed to bring in a competent backup. Like, they don't have a Gabby Jesus. They never have.
No.
Like, Gabby's been a great sort of backup, second fiddle to Aguero when Aguero's been out, but Spurs have never really had a good one. And Tottenham always bring him back immediately, and then he gets knackered again because he plays the entire match.
That's a fair point.
He would be treated quite a bit differently at City. And just look at City's record this year in keeping everybody fresh and rotated and healthy. It's been phenomenal. So I think Kane gets a bit of a bad rap for his injuries. And you know what? They always seem to come either against City or right before we play Spurs, which is another reason I think City fans are convinced he has a big injury problem. But he continues to score goals, even with that sort of knock on him that he's injury prone. His numbers are outrageous for goals. So
100%. And
I think it would be a different situation if he was here.
I'm just saying the damage is done.
I just don't like
he might get rotated more here, but if the damage is already done to stuff, sometimes it won't matter. Like there's plenty of guys that are like, oh well, no, it'll be different when he comes here because we'll protect him, and you see it a lot in like the NFL. We're like, well, no, we'll protect him more. He won't get. Well, it's like no. He's already been broken in half. Is the thing. It's going to take less and less every single time to hurt him now.
But he's not had a Sergio like sort of dip, with an injury like Sergio.
Right. That would be the third year of his contract here.
Listen, lads. I mean, we are an irrational, strange bunch of football supporters. If ever there is a strange bunch of fans, it's us lot. I've got friends that are moaning about stuff about Champions League, and I mean, it's like, well, do you remember the '90s, guys? And trust me, you know me. I'm part of that strange bunch of City fans, legacy blues, if you like.
That's right,
legacy fans.
Yeah, and I think as much as anything else, it's just that kind of irrationality of it. It's like he's guaranteed goals. He dropped deep. He'd fit well in our system, but I just don't like him.
I think that's fair, mate. That shit he pulls where he backs into people is absolute.
Oh, I hate that.
Trash, mate. It's trash. Oh no! Yeah. Oh no! No! We're not doing this.
Don't
again.
do it. No.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Dicky Bitters, indeed.
Betty Swallocks. Here it comes.
Drop me text. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Us either.
Where are you going to be Sunday, mate?
I'm going to be sitting at home. Hang on, I'm going to go inside, see if the connection's better when I go inside. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything.
Are you guys allowed to go anywhere up there? honestly,
No,
don't know.
We're all shut down.
Still,
Yeah, till mid-June.
man.
Unfortunately, yeah. So hang on, I'm going to disconnect my. That might be part of the problem.
Yeah, we're like all of our stuff goes away like the day after the Champions League final, which is pretty good for me because I am going to be steaming.
Steaming.
You'll be able to smell me down the block.
Steaming in the shed.
Like one way or the other, I'll be in tough shape on Sunday the 30th.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Memorial Day that Monday. So like hopefully I'm off. So hopefully it's like a 2-day recovery situation. But I don't trust it. While Dicky figures out his
bloody
stuff.
boomers can't figure out
I know, they
technology.
really can't. Well, he's figuring that out.
I don't know what's going on.
If you do want to call in, click on the link that I dropped in the chat, and get yourself put in the queue. So, yeah, you can have your say. There he goes.
We lost Bitters. All right, ta-ra, pal.
I think he's
There
thrown
goes.
he's thrown whatever he was using out the window. It's currently residing in his neighbor's vehicle. So yeah, well, I'm sure the Haaland and Kane thing will come up a ton. So
He's come back.
He's
back. Come back.
I do want to see what we'll bring him on. Oh, hey friend.
Oh, hello. Okay, boomer.
I don't know what's happening with my phone. It's gone wonky, or it could be me. Wouldn't be the first time.
That's such a funny.
Lost the volume. It's a bit of a shit show in here, lads. Sorry. I can barely hear you because I've got some.
I don't know
with
what's going on with my phone.
Can't hear you, mate. Can't hear you. No, can't hear you. No, not getting anything. Not getting anything, mate. That was a shame. We lost him.
Boy.
Technical difficulties reaching Canada.
How has Canada's internet gotten worse than the UK's?
I don't know. He's
Figure
back
that
in the
out.
waiting room. He's back. Like the bloody coronavirus. We can't shake Dicky Bitters. Hey. Okay.
Can you hear me?
No.
Yes.
Joey. Sorry. No. Are you there?
No.
No.
No. I
No.
can't now.
No. Okay.
So
That was mad.
here we go.
Papa Dumb Ankles, says Ian Grace. Well said, mate.
So JS question Noisy Pod.
I
Can
like
someone
this.
explain why Diaz was third choice center back behind Koulibaly and Koundé? Did we get
Good
lucky?
question.
I don't think he was behind Koundé. I also am not positive he was behind Koulibaly. I think there was maybe a lateral thing with he and Koulibaly. But end of the day, you know what you're dealing with in terms of trying to get somebody from Napoli. And their owner is just a real pain in the ass.
He's a Tuscan Raider. He's a massive, massive Tuscan Raider.
He's
known dicks.
Yeah, he's I don't know if Napoli's in Tuscany, but I also I thought the Raiders played in Vegas. Anyway, he's just a pain in the ass to deal with. Koulibaly was also 29, I think. So he was older, which means you wouldn't get as long out of him. The Koundé thing, I still don't really understand. I think that was more of just putting feelers out there and see if anybody else threw their name in the ring, because maybe your scouts are like, yeah, he's good, but you want to see if anybody else is interested. Diaz seems like he was so nailed on for what we try to do and what kind of character he is because of the people we try to bring into the club and the price, the age. He seemed so perfect that I think it might have just been drawn out stuff with Benfica and it didn't leak. Yeah. I mean, this may come as a shock. There was a time where not every transfer leaked before it happened. And I think it
City
was
probably
just
better
City.
than most in that.
Yeah, I think City probably were just wheeling and dealing and trying to see if anybody else would bite on things. I mean, we do have a history of, thank you, City Slacker. We do have a history of I don't know if it's intentionally driving up prices of other players so other clubs sign them, but we do have a history of doing it. We
Now
we
that
drove the price up on Maguire,
yeah,
drove the price up on Alexis Sanchez.
let's
Two hilarious ones.
let's see if we can trick whoever the Ed Woodward replacement is, because Ed was too easy, mate.
Ed's staying through the end of the calendar year. We still get him in the summer.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, like
Nice.
which like that's what's so funny. The United fans are like, he's leaving. I mean, he's in charge of your transfer policy for an actual transfer window.
Steve-O, you are correct. Jordan Henderson, Icelandic international.
Yeah,
Playing for Liverpool.
I thought somebody had slipped me something. Oh, actually, there's another one. Another good shout.
Yes, Fred. Yep, we made big noise over Fred, and then he ended up at United. And boy, do they regret that.
Mm-hmm. What's this? What's this one here? Champion Brilliant Priorities. How do you feel about that? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, I like calling ourselves Nosy Pod.
If we were to find out that they were the priorities, well, I think in the end, that's probably true every season.
Every year.
But I think that they absolutely try to get everything. They go for everything.
Yeah. I can't see a scenario in which the club looks at all the competitions and they say to either the Champions League or the Premier League, let's put that on the back burner.
Mm-hmm. Unless
we really need to bring the FA Cup back.
Yeah, I guess the one thing he did was the FA Cup semi where he sort of binned it off, didn't he? I mean, I say binned it off. It was only a 1-0. I mean, we were in it, but he definitely played a second string mostly that day.
Yeah.
But I think all's well that ends well, I think is the term. Wait, what we got?
I'm just still laughing at Jernden Henderson, Icelandic international. Oh boy,
yeah,
that's a funny one.
Sweet Carabao, says Gaz. Yep.
Yeah,
at least we got that.
Okay. I'm not even clicking that because it makes me angry. Vid.
What's Vid saying?
You should know better than to bring up that name on this show.
Ooh,
we don't talk
I
about
see
that,
it now.
dude.
I see it.
We don't talk about that.
Okay. Jacob Levitz does not like my hat. Or he does, but he thinks the Rangers are the worst.
What do you think about that as a big Rangers guy?
So I'm very much a Missy Mike on baseball. I like all the teams.
Tight.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So you're basically you're a fan of whatever hat matches your fit for the day.
Yeah. More clubs than Tiger Woods, mate. More clubs than Tiger Woods when it comes to baseball. Yeah. No, a good friend got me this hat and it has sky blue on it. So I thought, yeah, I'll bang that on tonight.
Did you know that Indians legend and current Yankees pitcher
Rick Vaughn.
Corey Kluber threw a no-hitter the other night?
Did he? Oh, against the Rangers.
Was it against the Rangers?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty hilarious.
For the Yankees, yeah.
He's from there. He's from like Keller, Texas.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Big up Keller. Big up the mid-cities.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of sky blue things, kit.
Yeah, come on, guys. You love a kit. A kit thread.
Yeah.
A kit post. A kit tweet.
New home kit came out. Basically. It's kind of what the pictures going around were. You know, it's got like a digital clock looking kind of thing in it everywhere. It's got 9320 back here or somewhere. White for Etihad, white numbers, hopefully, and then like a white kind of like long pit stain situation, like a Denver Broncos jersey thing down the side. How you feeling about that, Mark? Oh, he's switching cans. He just ran away. He hates the kit so much. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, what do you guys think about the kit in the chat there? And he's back. Oh, he's lost the hat. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go, Mets.
You really are a scumbag. Oh God.
That one's for Ryan.
I thought
Big
there was
up,
a
Ryan.
technical. I thought you had a technical issue.
I did.
There was the hat.
Yeah, it was a hat
Okay,
situation.
cool. No, that's good. I also like that you don't bend any of your brims.
No, I look ridiculous. I mean, I look more ridiculous than this.
You're basically part of G Unit at this point.
What's up?
You big Curtis Jackson guy?
Fitty?
There you go. That's right. I was wondering if you were going to be like, does he play for the Mets?
The third baseman.
he plays DH whenever they play an AL team.
Let's get some more callers lined up here. Come on.
Yeah.
Let me drop it. I'm going to drop it in the chat again.
I know you guys got nothing else to do.
Let's get some females on.
Whoa, you're married.
Oh, Siegs in the house.
Not exactly a female, but
here we go. Let's just bring him straight on, shall we?
he's sensitive. Go on.
All the way from North Carolina.
North Kakalaki.
It's our man Siegs.
There he is. The Petey Pablo of podcasting. You can borrow that, by the way. Yeah, you can borrow that. Just put dash joke. I am sick of you.
Oh, yes.
I'm
Mulv.
tired of this. I'm leaving.
Yes, that's my man right there.
What's up, Siegs?
Not much, guys. Good evening.
No,
How
you
are
thought
y'all
I
doing?
didn't bend my brims. You thought I didn't bend them. I will bend a brim on you.
Looks good.
Thank you, bro.
I
So
like
do
it.
you. Nice talk.
Thank you.
Joey's
Got
not
it.
having it.
125. It's all right.
I'm fed up. I'm fed up with all the hats.
Oh, do you have a college team out there in the frozen north?
Not
The
smart
Ohio
enough.
State University.
Not smart
Okay,
enough.
Buckeyes. I'll take it.
Not smart enough.
The high
Oh,
schools.
I went to master school.
The high schools only go to 10th grade. It's-
Well, you forgot I went to high school in Texas, and you're right. We did graduate after freshman year.
There you go. Well, lads, cheers. Here's to
Cheers,
City.
mate.
Ooh,
Cheers,
is that a
Siegs.
stout?
Yes, this is a
do you-
coffee stout. It's very
Go on
good.
now. Good boy.
Yes. What are we thinking? Aguero starts on Sunday? I think he
Has to.
does.
Has
Is
to.
that pretty unanimous, I'd say?
Well, I think so. The question would become: do we care about the match?
Mm. I don't know.
And if you care about the match, does that mean Aguero starts, or does that mean he doesn't? And if you don't care, does that mean Aguero starts? You know,
My thought is,
I think he starts just because of the whole thing. But I don't know if you're gonna get 90
Yeah.
minutes out of him, and then why start him and then bring him off,
I
and then bring
mean,
him back on for the celebration
yeah.
for the whole lap deal?
He's going to
I
have
don't
his
know.
own
It's-
special celebration, isn't he?
Oh,
True.
absolutely. I mean, the standing ovation, if he gets subbed off, I think is big because
I'm
we
ready
saw Pep do that with David Silva. He got
Mhm.
his sending off to a big applause. I can't remember if Company got subbed off or not in Company's last game. I remember David's though pretty vividly.
I have a question for you, Siegs.
Yeah.
Do you think that Kun's penalty against the Panenka, who was that against?
Chelsea.
Oh, you know who
Chelsea?
it was against. I'd say it was
Yeah.
against Chelsea. Yeah.
Do you think Pep was so annoyed with it, and that's why we haven't seen Kun since?
Oh, it's so hard to say with Pep.
The
I don't think Pep
re-
liked it put that way. I think
reason
Pep
I'm-
was. Yeah, go ahead.
reason I'm asking is because there could be some injury concerns around Aguero, If
Yeah.
he's not fully fit, then he probably won't start. Is my point. So my question is he not fit, or was Pep so angry with him that he is fit, but he's not played him at all?
It's so hard to say. Probably a bit of both, I would think. In other words, if this was Aguero who was completely fit the whole season, he was knocking in goals, and he was in City's best starting 11, then I think he would have kept on playing. But because Kuhn's been out of form a little bit, the team is best without him this year, unfortunately, just due to a lot of factors. I think because he's not 100%, but he could play if he wanted to. So Pep kind of uses that as this is going to be the official reason, but it's kind of a mix of, well, not really a fan of that, and also the team just doesn't need him this year. I mean, that's just unfortunately how it is.
Yeah, I think he hasn't played him because he's trying to look. I mean, we know he's leaving, so I think he's used the last few games to just be like, all right, well, what can I go ahead and start preparing for next season? Like he knows his Champions League final 11 or starting 11. I think we know the Champions League final starting 11.
Yep.
It's pretty much picks itself.
It has to be the same.
It's the people against PSG.
Yes,
And
exactly.
That's all. That's all it is.
Be.
So, what do you do with these last 3 matches? Well, you figure out what the hell you're going to do next year. I mean, so, well, what can Ferran Torres do up front, but like with extended amounts of time and as a striker?
Yeah.
Turns out he can do a whole big bunch.
Yes.
What can we get out of Fernandinho? What can we get out of Rodri still? Take a look at some guys at the back. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw like Ake or Laporte start this one, because we got Diaz and Stones once against Brighton, didn't we?
Yeah, he played a really strong side against Brighton. I think the only thing he didn't play Walker, because Walker apparently twisted his ankle playing with his kids.
Yeah. And then no De Bruyne, because
De Bruyne
still has
what did we learn
injury.
from that?
Yeah.
Never parent during the season.
Yep. Just kids goodbye. They're making enough money. They can hire people to take care of that.
Get a nanny.
Send them on.
Yeah.
Bring an uncle over.
Some big bum Latinas in there.
Hey yo.
What?
Yeah, it's fine.
What?
Yeah. Joey was just over here minding his business, and all of a sudden, what?
That's what happens at Mendy's place.
Well, that was different. That wasn't for babysitting.
Oh,
yeah.
Baby making.
Yeah. Different type. Yeah.
Where you at on Haaland and Kane, Siegs?
Preference is Haaland, but to be completely honest, if it's a situation where we don't think Haaland is going to move this summer, because now that Dortmund qualified for Champions League, the reports coming out, which is always so tough to believe anything from the Bundesliga sources. I mean, they're terrible. But still, we're seeing some reports that Haaland's maybe said, I'll stay. He's happy to wait until next year. So the issue is that I don't think City can afford to wait until the summer of next year, because my fear is that we know Bayern has such an in with these young German guys.
Yeah.
And I fear that if Haaland says, well, I might consider City next summer, but I'm also going to be considering at that time, we know Barcelona and Real are going to get more money by next year. Bayern has the Bundesliga ties. Liverpool and United are all going to have money as well. Maybe United will be more willing to pay with them, but if they think that Cavani's the answer, God bless them. Thank you. Like just sign Cavani now, please. Love it, guys. Yes, go for that option. But
smart.
United actually may be willing to splash the cash. So my thinking is that if City are looking at a position where waiting for Haaland means next summer, and it's going to be an insane bidding war. But Kane is willing to force his way out, basically. He's willing to do that now. He's willing to accept decent wages now. And City can sign him now this summer. I think that it's more value in signing Kane and moving forward with him, with you have Delap still around, who's young. We don't know really what he's going to develop into. But I think the ages with Delap and Kane, if Delap is an answer long term, it lines up better with Kane than it does Haaland, obviously. And with Kane, injuries, we know. I actually crunched the numbers. I think you guys saw it. The City Extra guys did. I mean, his numbers of missing games line up roughly with KDB's. I think KDB actually missed more time, but Kane missed, his stretches were bigger. But health is a concern with him. But still, I just think if you can get an elite striker, because that's what he is at the end of the day. If you can get him in the summer right now with this team, a season or two, at least, of elite play for the money, I think Kane in that situation is a smarter choice. Now, if Haaland says to City, yep, it's basically this summer, I'm moving, you go in for him and there's no price tag.
Yeah.
But I just don't think we've seen enough from Haaland's camp to say that, yes, he is willing to go all in and move this summer.
Yeah, it's a bit of a circus around it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think worries me about Haaland if we don't get him this summer is, like you said, Siegs, everyone's going to have money again.
Yeah.
After next, probably more money than they've ever had before, because people are going to be so hungry to get out of their houses and go back to these stadiums that it's going to be sellouts every weekend. So my worry is it's not only a bidding war, but he ends up somewhere else in our league.
Yes.
Because Chelsea will have the cash. And that's our biggest rival for the next 5 years, I think.
Agree, mate.
Yeah.
Agree.
Liverpool won't spend the money on a guy like him, I don't think. United will.
Yeah.
That would hurt. But if it becomes a bidding war where, say, Haaland's like, all right, well, I'm not going to go to Bayern. I'll go, Barcelona, Real Madrid, City, Chelsea, United. That's not a bidding war any of those clubs want to be involved in. And it's also not a bidding war that any of those clubs want to lose, especially us. Because if he goes to Chelsea, or who knows what United will look like in 2 years. But if Ollie's still there and the transfer policy is still what it is, it's probably pretty mediocre. But if he goes to Chelsea and Tuchel's still there, that's kind of a waking nightmare.
Yeah. Because
he'll get the most out of him. Like probably more than anybody else aside from Pep, because he knows him, or he knows he'll know how to use him, and he'll know how to get the players around him to feed off of how he plays. I mean, it's a potential front three of like Haaland, Werner, Pulisic, or Haaland, Werner, Havertz
with Mount behind him. Yeah,
don't want to see it. I have no interest in trying to defend against that.
But wouldn't it be better though if City had Kane and Haaland went to Chelsea than if City waited until next summer, didn't get Kane, and then miss out on Haaland? That's
I don't know. We're dealing
worse
with Haaland.
Situation.
We're dealing with defending against Haaland for a decade.
Yeah. But they also have to worry about defending against Kane on City's attack.
And
for like 2 years, for like 2 or 3 years. I mean, everyone keeps saying the lap, but I understand that he has been running roughshod over the Premier League too. I don't know.
Mate.
It's just he may, but it's just very strange to me that we haven't seen him in this stretch where we didn't have a striker. And we could have used somebody like him that's a physical presence in the box to do things and score goals, even as a sub, just to give you a different attack.
And that's, I think the Brighton game is the one that I was hoping to get the EDS guys in. And I forget who was on the bench in that one. I think the run in this year kind of threw Pep off because, you lose to Chelsea. That sucks. That puts you behind the ball. They could have won it weeks ago, and then you could have played some EDS guys in Newcastle. That turned out to be a complete, just basketball game. So that was weird. The Brighton game turns weird in 10 minutes because of a phantom red card, which still makes no sense.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because, it's Cancelo's fault that the guy grabbed him and fell to the ground. He
totally tackled it.
Yeah,
Joao Cancelo tackled that man.
Oh, it was an assault. Terrible.
Thank you.
Out of the league. Out of my club.
Worst refereeing performance I've seen
So bad.
ever.
Was it?
And then now you've got the final game, and the problem is that you do have the Aguero thing, because I think if this wasn't Aguero's final game, I really do think you would see Delap at this, or at least it'd be Torres at striker, see what he can do. 60 minutes, sub him off, put in Delap, see what Delap can do. But, I mean, and rightly so, this needs to be a game about Sergio. So I just think Delap, the run-in just didn't do him any favors this year. I think if he's still with the first squad next year, though, and this is a similar position, we can see what he can do. Honestly, though, I kind of want him to go out on loan, because I don't think it's a Foden situation with Delap. I don't. Number one, I just don't think that Delap is on Foden's level at this point as a player, but very few are. And the second thing is with Foden, he was able to sit behind these guys and learn from some of the best midfielders in the entire world. City, right now, you have an aging Aguero who's not going to be there next year. So if Delap joins the first team, who's he going to be learning from? That's one of the best in the position in the world. He's not. So in lieu of that, he needs to get game time. He's not going to get that much game time with City. He would get a crap ton of game time if he was loaned out to the right area.
Right. There you go.
So
we would have to be incredibly. So it's the same as if we were going to loan out Phil, right? You'd have to be so selective with where you're sending it. So if everyone within the club is as high on Delap as they were on Phil, they would have to be so selective on where he was loaned that I think the market for that would be almost non-existent.
Well,
because you'd have to find not only a club that he can play meaningful minutes against top quality opposition, but he will also need to be playing a very specific style of football. And there just aren't that many in the world that are playing something similar to Pep with a good supporting cast in a league where he's against top competition, and that will bring in a guy that's 18, I think, and be like, okay, you're the number one guy for us. It's
Brighton.
I think one of the better. I think a top half team in Spain.
That's if Graham Potter stays.
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere in Spain for him. That would kind of be my choice, just because of the more style. I don't want him going to Italy where he's just going to get kicked for 90 minutes and just no, F that.
What about a swap deal? We loan him to Dortmund and we get Haaland. Yeah.
I mean, like, where's the paper? Like, why is that not signed in blood?
Actually,
already?
Delap at Leipzig, Gladbach, Villarreal, Sevilla.
Villarreal and Sevilla were the two that actually popped into my mind the most.
I could work with that.
Yeah.
You get to hang out with Jesus Navas. So,
all right, I'm going to change the subject.
Go on,
because I want to bask in the glory of winning the league.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we did that, huh?
With you, Siegs. I want to bask in the glory with you, and I want to ask you, which has been your favorite of Guardiola's Premier League titles?
The 100 points. It's the Centurions, because I think, as we've seen this year, it's never going to happen again. 100 points. I just don't think so. Yeah. The 98-point season, I think, maybe had a little bit of a better. You could argue it had a better overall story, because to go 100 points and then 98 is just like, God, that's insane. That will never be topped. 198 points in 2 seasons ever. But I think just for the historical aspect of it, the 100 points is my personal favorite.
Are you gonna do a Miami Dolphins every season? Every time top of the league cannot get to 100 points, are we having a drink?
No. I'm not a crotchety old white guy from the 70s. No. I'm good. It's just such a dumb thing, and I hate it every year in the NFL. They always bring it every year. Oh, hey guys, the last team lost. The Dolphins are Like those guys don't give two shits.
What are you talking about?
I touched a
Oh,
nerve with Siegs.
God. No, my dad's a Miami
They
Dolphin
couldn't
fan.
catch us, dude.
My dad's a Miami Dolphin every
Light
year. He's
'em
like,
up.
yeah, he's like, Dolphins are the only undefeated. I'm like, oh my God, Dad. I'm like, it was in 70, whatever. No,
It is true though, isn't
stop. What that?
Isn't it-
Oh yeah, no, no one
Isn't
else
it
gonna.
crazy?
Yeah, I mean, if the Patriots didn't do it that one year where they were 18-0 and lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl, which was amazing, but if they can't do it, no one's going to.
You know what's going to happen, right?
The Cleveland Browns are going to go 8 or what? What would it be this year now? Because they have the
14,
weird 17,
17 and 0.
well, 17-0, and then 4, so 21-0, 20-0.
There you go.
Yeah,
No, but really, what I'm saying is, we are all going to age,
yeah.
and there will be a point where we're like, yeah, but you didn't get 100 points, so did you?
Yeah, it's true.
I loved it when
It'll be-
Liverpool couldn't
it'll be-
get 100 points. That
It'll be
was
20. It'll be 2040, and someone's gonna finish on 99, and we're like,
Yeah.
Brandon Fraser.
get out,
Gotcha. Got him.
keep it moving.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
Siegs, that was fun as always, pal. Good to see you.
Absolutely, guys. Good to see y'all. Hopefully, the U.S. tour come back next summer, guys, so we can all meet up again in person.
Hopefully, it's in Cleveland.
I hope so. Look, talk with Ariel. She knows the power players. Make it happen.
Ooh.
All right, mate. Up the Tar Heels.
All right, lads. Up the
Ta-ra.
Blues.
See you, buddy.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
See y'all. Bye.
There goes Siegs.
Thank you, Steve. All right, I gotta
Great
run
stuff.
for a wee. Give me a second.
Yep, no problem. I'm vamping.
Yeah, just you can do this. I believe in you.
All right, let's have a look at this chat. I can take this off now that Siegs has gone. Up the Tar Heels. Let's go Mets. Where are my 86 Mets fans at? Come on. Where's my platooning happening in the center field with Mookie Wilson and Lenny Dykstra? Second base, Tim Tuffle and another guy. Cool. We do have another guest waiting to jump in. Looking forward to that. I'll wait for Joey to get back, though. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you're having a great Friday night out there. Appreciate you all in the chat. Dave Waite, let's go Mets. Yes, mate. Loads of Mets fans in the chat. Wally Backman. Thank you, Dave. Wally Backman. Can't believe I forgot. I remembered Tim Tuffle, but not Wally Backman. Go figure. All right, City Slacker, Wally Backman. Thank you, mate. Wally Backman. What a strange looking person he was. Strange style. Okay, let's see here. Willie Beeman. Not sure about that one. Cool. So Joey has returned. Let's bring on
Sorry,
from
I
the
put my
Dallas
cigars back in the case.
from the Dallas suburbs. Blue Moon Dallas in the house. It's Hunter McNally, Big Game McNally in the house. There he is.
Yeah,
Damn.
sorry.
Is that your za?
I actually sent a message
I
and said,
just
"Hey,
saw
give
it.
me 2 to 3 minutes so I could go get the pizza. They're dropping it off." But
Go get the pizza.
okay, let me go get it real quick.
Yeah, get
I'm gonna turn off the
pizza.
cam. Just
Can't
no,
be
here,
any
I'll just leave it
worse.
on.
We'll
Can't
just
be
drop
any
you
worse
out,
than
yeah.
Dicky Bitters, mate. Can't be any worse than that.
There he goes, off to get his big sausage pizza.
Wow.
Probably.
What a life. When's your
I know.
food turning up, mate?
I had dinner at 5 before our business
Like
meeting.
a normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I unexpectedly got the day off today. So I went out and did the yard because I have work tomorrow, and then we're having family over Sunday because we bought a smoker because we're going to do a brisket because they can't barbecue up here. So Dicky Bitters is like right on the other side of the lake, and it for real is like unseasonably hot up here. Like it's been 86, 87, 88 all week long, which doesn't happen. Like it snowed 2 weeks ago. So my body's not quite accustomed to it. So I've been chugging water all day. So I do that, and then I do this, and it's just, old pigeon bladder McCune really kicks in.
All right, let's get him
All
back on.
He's
Pizza's
back.
now here.
He's got his big sausage pizza. And this was quick, so it seems like he probably did have money to pay for it.
Yeah. Hey, Joey, long time, man. It's been a minute since we've seen each other, so it's
Hey,
good
babe.
to good to see you.
Let me introduce this pair as
Yeah.
the
Fred is done.
is done.
Yeah.
He is.
Duo.
His career's over.
These two
There we go.
famously at the pub declared the Fred to Manchester City deal done.
It was.
We took a photograph to commemorate this announcement, and the man subsequently ended up at United. Thank God.
Yeah, the deal was done. Not going to happen.
He still won't back off. He still won't back off.
And you're the one that keeps bringing it up as if you got us on something.
I've got a
The
picture of
deal-
it. A picture.
Yeah,
You do.
deal's-
You do.
deal's
It's
done.
incriminating. It's
The
incriminating.
deal is
but,
done. It can't happen. It's
Hunter.
it depends what your definition of is. You know what I mean?
Is. Hey, Joey, by the way,
Shut up.
do you
President
miss
Clinton.
this? Do you miss this? Did you like
Dude.
Shiner?
The beer store I went to today that I purchased these at had Shiner and Lone Star in it. I was very much confused because we ain't got them types of things up here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
It won't be too long, I think, before Texas gets Yingling. That's a big thing, you know.
I have 9 of them in my fridge right now.
Yeah, Arkansas got Yingling whenever I go back and visit home, but that's apparently a big deal. So maybe Texas will get it soon.
Pennsylvania stuff.
Yep.
J Fresh Stunner in the chat wants to know where we're from, so I put our names and cities up there for
J
you to
Fresh
see.
Stunner is one of the better names I've ever seen.
Great
in my life.
name. J
Jay
Stunner,
Fresh
what's up?
Stunner.
J Fresh Stunner. When's the new mixtape dropping, please?
Look at this guy. He's brilliant.
That's tight.
Where are you from, mate? Drop that in the
Sassy.
chat.
All right, Hunter. What do
Yeah.
you want to talk about, dude?
Well, we've already hit some talking points that I knew I would get you fired up on, and that's Kane being the 1B versus the Haaland 1A. But we talked about, you know, with
Jeremy
the last,
Haaland.
yeah, with the last guest was about, you know, championship. You know, how is everything going to go with that? So I'm honestly going to throw it to you guys and giving me a question, and I'll throw one back to you.
Okay.
Nuno Espirito Santo
Nice
Mhm.
one.
leaving Wolves.
Hmm.
What does that mean for Wolves, and how long before Spurs announce Nuno?
Basically, yeah. And I mean, they're also set up for him, you know, with that defensive style, anyways. That's been left since. I mean, they've always been a counterattacking team at Tottenham, and then Jose even made them more of a sit back and park the bus. So they're pretty well ready for Nuno. But Nuno with that attacking, I mean, maybe they'll be better than mid-table. Who knows? I think they're still going to be out in Europa, or what are they calling it now? That's going to start in 2 years. Europa Conference.
But
Is that what
that's
it's called?
They're not changing the name. That's another one.
Yeah,
So
I know.
it's
I
gonna be
know. It's going to be, yeah, that's going to
Europa.
be the Burnleys every now and then, the West Hams.
Yeah.
We're going to see that on Paramount Plus, I guess. So,
It's European money, baby.
yeah. Are those going to be on Fridays and make the teams play again on Saturdays? I mean, when are those games being played? You
That'd
know,
be sick.
just turn it around.
I always like how the players and the managers are like, we need less games. This is incredibly unhealthy. We can't keep doing this. The players are dying. Please, if we could just tone it down a little bit, like give us a winter break or something. And UEFA's like, you know what? We've heard what you've had to say. We're gonna go ahead and throw another tournament in there. Is what we're gonna do. We need more teams playing more games, really, and for something that really could matter less, because I think the winner of the UEFA Europa Conference
that we're having
League,
to, that you're having to think about this. Yeah.
I think the winner of that gets a free pass
To Europa.
into the Europa League.
Oh my
which,
gosh.
I mean, who's not fired up about that? You know,
Who doesn't want to see Grenada
Sean Dyche
versus
Sean
Burnley?
Sean Dyche parking the bus against Armenia Bielefeld from Germany, Mulv.
Speaking
So
about
what
the
do you
extra
think?
fixtures,
Happens
go
to
ahead.
what do you think happens to Wolves now that Nuno's gone?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, we can ask Jorge Mendes since he's practically running the club. I mean,
Right. So it's. Do you think George Mendes just gets like another dude?
I mean, what is
he
it?
has another manager like.
Is
he's like,
CR7
next.
going to Zoom manage? I mean, what's he going to do? I mean, he loves his Portugal guys, so you know.
I mean, if he
what's
did
he
it
gonna do?
shirtless, you'd probably run through a wall for him. You know.
Who's this?
Paulo
Fonseca.
Is that Scott Stapp? Who's that? Who's that playing the guitar there?
Scott Stapp, American hero Scott Stapp.
We're
He's definitely got a voice. This
Yeah.
guy.
He's real.
If that's you guys. Tell us
One
if
of
you
the-
sing like this.
One of the kings.
Story for you.
One of the kings of
Pearl
cock
Jam.
rock. One of the kings of cock rock. There we go. Yeah.
There you go, dude.
Who's Fonseca?
Paulo Fonseca.
Now, was he the ex Shakhtar manager who is now jobless? Is that who that was? I can't remember his
I'm
name.
gonna pull it up now.
Um,
Paulo Fonseca. No,
Sorry,
it's not
pal.
Shakhtar. I don't think.
so there's a Portuguese guy that managed
bu- bu-
Shakhtar, and we faced him yearly.
He's at Roma right now, Fonseca.
Yeah, and he's leaving because they're hiring Jose, of course. So
So yeah, Shakhtar. He went actually pretty good career there. So he
Yeah.
went from Ferreira to Braga. Braga's a big one. Then to Donetsk, and then Roma. So step. Wolves would make sense.
Yep, it would, and also, I mean, he plays that kind of style. I guess whenever you play against an attacking team, I mean, he's never afraid to attack teams. He wasn't ever against Shakhtar, even whenever we played Shakhtar, even though we battered them most of the time. So, you know,
Shakhtar Donuts.
Hell yeah.
Shakhtar donuts.
So
Okay.
what's your question for us, Mister?
Let's see. So we've already hit some of the points. So I still want to go back to Kane. So
Perfect.
because if you've did you watch the Gary Neville interview? I mean, it's an hour long, but if you even saw just some of the snippets,
No,
Just seen clips from it, mate.
he's very open and honest. And I'm talking in an interview that happened, what was it, yesterday or the day before? After
he's
everything
open-
got announced.
he's open and honest because he's really, really, really trying to force something through because he's miserable.
He is.
If
I
he would have
think-
done this 6 months ago, this is not the same interview.
And I mean, yeah, and the first thing he gets asked, is about, what do you think about your legacy? Or, Gary asked a good question of, do you want to go down the route of Alan Shearer? And I can't remember who else he asked about, but, do you want to go down the route of these guys of just staying with their clubs, being the legends, always the legends, but not having a chance at glory, or what we call glory, with winning trophies? And he had a very good answer of, I really love the club, at Spurs. I've been here since I was 11, more than half of my life. But it's time at this point, while I'm in my peak, and I think I've got another 8 years was his quote. And I know you don't think that, Joey. You don't think he's got the 8 years, which, I mean, that would be a stretch for sure.
36.
Yeah, 35. So he's 27, about to turn 28. So I guess technically
he'd be
36.
the same age as Fernandinho.
Yeah, as a forward, which we know is highly unlikely. I mean,
All right, go
he's
on.
not Zlatan, or potentially, I guess Luis Suarez is getting up there, but he had a very good
teeth.
yeah, he had a very good answer of, I want to win trophies. And he said, and he goes back, and during that, it kind of turns into going back to Pochettino and talking about how they had such a good run, fighting against Leicester, so to speak, in that season. The next season they were up there when Chelsea won, on that whenever Conte was here, they were actually up, fighting for some points at that point, even though Chelsea kind of took it away at the end. But that's it. They made the Champions League final the year after that, but they've been Europa since and guaranteed Europa. And you can see it in his eyes. He's just tired of being mediocre. He's just tired of it. So,
Yep.
but I mean, what club besides City does he actually go to that actually has a chance at winning trophies? The thing that it comes down to it is he wants to win. And he is a 1B for us, because I think Haaland, I agree with you that Erling Haaland, 20 years old, makes way more sense. And if Alfie was running this deal and not Riola, it's game over. I think that he comes to City, but with the Riola stuff and the whole max marketing, and now they've got to get his image rights, and there's all kinds of these other rights that they're throwing on top of this. Pep, Cheeky, Ferran, all the guys, they're just like, no, we're done. There's no way. I think that's what's happened, and I think that's why all this Kane stuff has come up.
So I think there's City Slacker made a good point. He'd be amazing at Barcelona, but he doesn't have to go that far to go to a club that can't afford him and that he could win some trophies at. And it's the same club that we're going to be fighting against for Haaland, and it's Chelsea.
Chelsea just spent 300 million in one window. I'm
They
just
have an
saying.
incredible knack.
What you sound like is when City spent 400 million only on fullbacks. Like, it doesn't matter.
It wasn't
doesn't matter.
400, but yeah.
It doesn't matter for Chelsea though. They're in
Yeah.
the same spot as us. If
That's
everyone
true.
says all these rich clubs can spend unlimited money, then Chelsea can spend unlimited money.
Technically,
And
yeah. Especially with FFP gone, or what they
Harry's-
say it's gone. Yeah.
He's a London guy. He'd be surrounded by incredibly talented players that are young and hungry at a club that's trying to win, with a manager that needs to not rebuild his reputation, but his reputation is kind of helping rebuild Chelsea's whole setup.
Yeah.
So if he's successful there, then, you know, he could stay there for as long as he wanted to, or he could move on to somewhere bigger. I don't know, Real Madrid or something like that. But it's the Kane and Haaland thing. I think is always going to come down to City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, and I think I think Chelsea should be in the, I guess, conversation about where he could go. I know he keeps saying City and everything, but I don't know. I just don't. I don't know any transfers in the sport that are that straightforward. Where it's like player wants to leave, says he wants to go here, and then that club's like, all right, dope, and then
Unless it's Spain and they have the guaranteed release clauses, that we love at City. But yeah, I just think that Kane, even the interview whenever he's talking about De Bruyne, who wouldn't want to play with him, and it's just like, I don't know, it's the whole Grealish flirting thing that happens. It's the same type of stuff. But
it's all making too much sense to me. It's all lining up to be Kane. In my opinion, just too much has happened that points to Kane. The agreement with Aguero before the end of the season smacked of we've got somebody else lined up. The way Kane is talking, again, flirting with us.
Good question by Gaz.
Doing interviews with a Gary Neville that Gaz is talking about here. Like, it all seems like something happened about a month ago when Aguero put his 2-week notice in, and I said before, I think Guardiola's had his eye on Kane. I mean, he semi-flirted with Kane a little bit when he called them the Harry Kane team, right?
He did.
So he's flirted a little bit back. I think that look at the age ranges at City. I think you can comfortably say that Pep has his young starlets right now and doesn't necessarily need another one. He's got his Phil Foden, very young. Diaz is young. Ferran Torres. He's got enough youth. He's got enough.
And then you got Cole and you've got Liam right there that are already way past U23 already.
I know that we have typically gone for that profile of that young starlet, and that's been great. That's worked great for us. But I don't think we necessarily are in for that profile right now. I think we're in for somebody who's straight in his prime. Remember, this guy's the same age as Fernandinho when we bought Fernandinho, and he's had a great career at City.
Fernandinho was 29, right? Or 28. Or was it 28 turning 29? Yeah.
But I just think it all points to Kane. The guy can take penalties.
It's weird. It's weird hearing that, like, you're acting like Haaland isn't proven.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the red tape with him now is for me.
I understand red tape, but when you get to the stature that we're at now, you're going to deal with that when you're buying players.
Yeah.
We're not always going to strike these.
It's just that scummy bastard real.
Or like Ruben Diaz deals. Like we're not going to strike those deals all the time.
Yeah,
it's just not going to happen. Zinchenko, fluke. Like it's not going to happen. So I understand the Kane thing makes a lot of sense, but I don't understand why we're acting like, Kane's this proven commodity and he scores all the time and blah, 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 as if Haaland hasn't scored his entire career He's been
No,
scoring
yeah.
30 to 40 goals a game, 30 to 40 goals a season in Champions League, in the Bundesliga. I mean, internationally, he's scoring goals. Like it's not. I understand Kane is like in his prime now and all that kind of stuff, but what you're basically the argument is like, well, we can get a guy in his prime now, or we can buy a guy who's there is all this red tape and everything, but he's not proven in the Premier League, and his prime is still some way off. Well, if he's scoring 30 goals at 20, and his prime is still some way off, that's a risk I'm willing to take. If 30 goals at 20 years old is not his prime, all right, dope. Show me what it looks like at 27 then, because it's not going to be worse.
And that's just league. We're talking about someone who scored 48 this year and 48. Remember, that was what his record was. But then he scored 2. So I guess he's in 50 and 49 now from the last match. So,
and double-digit assists.
Yeah. I think what got me too is understanding the total package, which Kane does have that. I mean, he's leading the league in assists and goals right now. Okay. For a garbage Tottenham team. I'm talking,
Kane's
they are
leading in
not.
assists?
Yes. He's leading in assists still.
Yeah,
He's at 13.
it's
That
crazy.
says more about Spurs than it does about anything.
Now, him and Heung-min
Because
Son.
all of those assists are for Son.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But I mean, they are pretty similar in that, because remember that link-up play whenever Royce scored that goal? That was nasty against us.
Yep.
Whenever he had that immediate pass over, he's got that vision that, is upper echelon. Like, he is going to be the star next to Mbappe for this next generation. No doubt he will be.
And don't misunderstand me saying that Kane makes more sense for me saying I'm anti-Haaland. We cannot lose with either of these blokes. We just cannot lose. They are both delicious prospects to be at Man City.
We haven't seen yet, I think. We only saw Delap a little bit in Carabao. We haven't seen how invested we are with him, and saying that we hear the talk of City loves Delap. They love him. They want to keep him similar to Foden, and same thing with Cole Palmer and everything. I mean, we're still early in that stage. Kane makes a little bit more sense in that spot, because we aren't going to play 2 strikers right now, at least with Pep. Clearly, he makes more sense to at least give some rotation for that. I know that I mentioned that to Mulv a bit ago on text and everything, was with Kane. Kane is probably going to enjoy having a break. He's going to come in and actually appreciate Gabby coming in and taking the load off, or Bernardo in a false 9, or Kev in a false 9, or Foden, whatever it is, because he can play that false 9 too. If Pep says, hey, Kane, stop being in the box all the time and play the false 9, he can actually do that too. Haaland obviously can too. But I just think that, for the future of the club, it's a 1A and 1B for me. It does depend on, like what Joey, you have your concerns about his ankle. If you look at his list, I think on Transfer Market, you can look at all previous players' injuries and how many times is his ankle on there. It's like 7 or 8 times, just like Kuhn's hamstring, over and over and over again. So that stuff you can't predict. That's what's sad.
You're right. It is 1A, 1B. It's just the big argument is going to be who is 1A and who is 1B.
Yep.
Because you can make a ton of you can make a ton of points for both of them. It's just I think it comes down to short term and long term.
Yeah.
And if you're willing if you're willing to kind of forego the long term and hope that Liam Delap is what
they're saying he is.
What we hear on social media. Well, I don't even know if it's what the club is saying he is. It's what we hear on social media. And because if it was what the club is saying he is, then he would be positioned more how Foden was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where he's in and amongst the side all the time.
He was 17 and in the side, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just I think Delap probably will be good. I just none of us have actually seen enough of him.
Yeah, we just seen his goals, his recaps,
Right, against 18-year-olds.
How many of those clubs, by the way, they call it the U23, so this is something that you can help me out with, Joey. How many of those clubs actually do field teams that go up to the 23-year-old age, or are most of them doing the 18s? And like Liverpool and Chelsea, I know do that, but like us.
So he was on the Premier League 2 team, I think.
Yes.
And then there's a U18 team.
They call it the U23, the Premier League 2, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's both
So
interchangeable, yeah.
It used to be a punishment league. Like it used to be like, we would send like Wayne Bridge to go down and play with them. But
is there a limit on older players to go down there too?
I think it's only like a handful. It's kind of like the Olympics. I think you get like 3.
Okay.
But yeah, it's mostly like the more talented younger guys. And my issue is just that none of us have, like, the data we have is only against kind of subpar competition. We don't have any data aside from one Champions League, might as well be the Champions League for us. One League Cup match where he
scored. I mean,
he was really, really good and he got carded.
Yeah. Well, Gaz pointed out, I see over there in the chat, that apparently he had 2 red cards. I didn't know anything about that. I've heard that he's kind of got.
I think he got a hat trick and a red card, like same match.
I know that he's
that Gaz doesn't know. By the way,
yeah, seriously,
I'm
looking over there.
Up Gaz as a very strong knowledge base.
Yeah,
good Twitter friend, Gaz.
But no, I just think
that's how he sings. I'm convinced.
How dare you?
I think that though, if we bring in Haaland, Gabby will look for somewhere else, and we won't be able to bring in Delap, in my opinion.
What makes you think that if Kane came in, Gabby's not looking? Like, why?
Because we would like Kane at this point. He just wants to, like, there's a different motivation for Kane. Kane wants to win. Period.
Kane wants to be the number 1 guy at a top team.
I think you say that. I don't think he would do that with City. I think that he would count his blessings a millionfold, just like Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker has come in and done the same thing.
So you don't think Kane wants to be the number 1 guy at a top team?
I think, of course, he does, because his goal ultimately is to be the best striker ever. I mean, he says that too. If you listen to Gary Neville's interview, he wants to be the best striker ever in the history.
If he's coming in and saying, "No, I'm going to be the number 1 guy there," how is that different from Haaland?
He would, wouldn't he?
He would be.
No, of course he would. But Hunter, you're saying like, well, if Haaland came, Gabby would be like, "Well, I'm leaving because I know Haaland's going to be the number 1 guy." But if Kane comes in, Gabby's all of a sudden going to be like, "I bet I could."
So I think though, with Harry Kane, the spotlight changes. So with Harry Kane, he's moving to a club to get trophies, to work with the team, to be the team player, to try and become a captain himself, because he's already the captain at Tottenham, but he's not going to come in and immediately be the captain at City. He's just not going to be. So he's got to earn the trust and earn his way and be a part of the 11. Haaland's going to come in, and this 20-year-old kid is cocky as hell. You can see him on the pitch making $400K if we bring him on, because that's what we're going to have to pay him, because that's what is happening. And that's the big difference. And then Gabby, I mean, if Haaland misses a start, he's going to tweet about it, or someone's going to say something. I just think that at that point it's going to be chaotic. I think that we would lose.
That's such a
some
weird,
of our depth.
That's such a weird.
I don't know. I just feel that. I just feel that.
I don't understand that at all. Gabby's going to be second best regardless.
And what's sad for me is Gabby's one of my favorite players since he's come in.
The argument you're making is that as if if Kane came, Gabby wouldn't be in the same spot. He's going to be second best regardless.
I think Gabby's still going to get 35 matches though.
He'd get 35 matches if Haaland was here. Is Haaland not going to rotate?
See, I don't think that. I think that Haaland will probably.
So you're saying if Haaland comes, he doesn't rotate, but if Kane comes, he does rotate?
Because of the age group he's at, because of he's okay with, probably not increasing his wages and adding his image rights and being this 20-year-old superstar. And
hold on.
Yeah.
So you're saying I get more matches if Haaland's here?
Wait, what? You talking about?
Gabby gets more matches?
No. If Haaland is at the club, I get more Haaland.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. You get more number 9 matches. Yeah. Okay. Of your starting number 9. The
Gabby thing, regardless, he's second fiddle.
He's
going to move on in the next few years.
I think what it boils down to,
it doesn't matter who the striker is.
Yeah. I think what it boils down to is I love Gabby, and I wish he could have just somehow found that touch to score the goals, because he works so hard. He's never, ever just the sad person on the pitch or anything. Like, he's always just full head of steam, always working hard, and he just hasn't been able to. And maybe they asked too much of him to always be rotating back and grabbing the ball, at midfield. Maybe that's something that he takes to his head, and somehow he doesn't get into the proper spaces every now and then. I don't know, but it's a much different game whenever Sergio's in the match than when Gabby's in the match. It's a much different false.
It may yet click. It may yet click for Gabby. I mean, he's still very
What's-
young.
what's
It
he,
may
24?
click. Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
It could very well
it's-
click.
it's-
I would
it's the
love
next
to
year or
keep him.
two, for
People in
sure.
the chat saying, would you let him go to Spurs in the deal?
I don't think
he would.
Gabby goes to Spurs. I don't think he would
He
want to. Yeah, run his contract down and then pick where he wants to go at that point.
There's another issue.
Yeah, but he's signed on right now until what, 2025, I think. So he's been
great. That means we could have Kane and Gabby leave in the same year for no money. That sounds like a really super good business deal.
Yeah.
All right, Hunter, mate. Good to have you on, pal.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Is I know it's controversial right now because there's the 1A and 1B, but I'm happy either way. If we get either of those two lads, I think that City's in proper shape.
Yep.
Well said. Well said. We will see you Sunday, pal.
Thanks, Hunter. Good seeing you.
Big game, Hunter.
See you,
there he
Joey.
goes.
Boom.
Boom. Very nice. Very nice. First time caller, Hunter. Big game McNally.
That is true.
He has a habit of showing up to the biggest of games at the pub and the biggest of games only.
He's got a hell of a record for it.
He's won many trophies at the pub with us.
True.
Okay, we're on an hour and a half, mate. Doing well. We got another guest in the waiting room.
I still got one more in the cooler, so we're
excellent.
We're good to go.
Let's keep going. Let's bring on our mate Ian from Down Under, shall we? Here he is.
He won't get booted this time for Man Deep. Hello, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Morning, guys, or evening for you.
He was the unlucky sod in the waiting room when Mandeep pulled his business out.
I was just hoping that he didn't pull his whacker out then, and I got booted again.
Let me ask you, Ian. Did
Your
you see
face,
it
Joey,
coming?
when that happened was hilarious.
Did you see it coming?
I didn't see anything coming.
No, I didn't either.
No.
Somebody did.
Not at all. No.
Yeah. See.
Did you like it? What you saw?
Still thinking about. No, I'm still having nightmares about that.
Yeah.
Same. That was a fun.
Mulv, your
group
face
chat conversation.
was just funny. It was shock, and then I was just the same as you. I just couldn't stop laughing. I just thought that was just such the cheek of it. It was like, okay, yeah.
Golly.
So, how are you, boys?
What you got, Ian? You know, it's summer here. It's winter where you are. Yeah. Isn't that how it goes? So it's it's nice and warm. It's toasty. City are champions.
Well,
everything's right in the world.
We're going the opposite way.
Yeah.
We're going the opposite way. We're now going into autumn. Mornings and evenings are getting cooler.
It's upside down there.
Yeah, we're upside down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a bit cooler this morning, but it's still good. City of champions.
So let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Have we beaten Everton yet?
Yeah. I got you.
Go on, Ian.
Come on, dance with me.
On the morning after we won the league, I was working from home and I had this song on repeat all day on my big boomer speaker. It was ace, and I was getting really mad when people were calling me for business reasons. I've got to turn this off. This is no good. So yeah, not happy. But, yeah, go do Reaper.
Yeah, I like that tracksuit, mate. That's nice.
Ooh,
Tracky top. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
swag.
Proud one.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
I guess we've covered a lot of the things off in your call this morning. I guess how do we fill these boots of Aguero? I think I know we spoke about Haaland, we spoke about Kane, and everybody in the media's. As soon as Kane says, "Oh, I want to go," all they do is link teams that have got the money. But they don't really do the link. Is he a fit for City? I'm not so sure. I know we don't really like dealing with Levy, but we have done in the
Right.
past, and we got Walker out of them. That was obviously a little bit of a better scenario. But likewise, we'd have to deal with Riola, and we don't deal with him for Haaland. So I think City's the way City will go is who's the best chance we've got at getting them out of the club that they're in. Who do we deal with?
Right.
Okay.
Because I think there's Kane's numbers are just ridiculous, and we know that if he comes to City, he's gonna score his goals. And he has put a lot into his game now, where he's dropping deep and he'll pick a ball up and he'll link play, not just a target man. So it does look like he play in a way that Sergio has for the last couple of seasons. But I'm still worried about his popping ankles. It's Joey, you said it before. We could spend a lot of money and then he's out injured, and then who have we got? You could say who have we got? We've just won the league without a striker, But you've just spanked 100+ million, and we're not benefiting from it. So it's just a little bit of a worry about that side. If you get Haaland, you've just got all these years ahead of you. All right, it might be if he's a Riola player, so you can't guarantee he's going to get the longevity at City. He's not going to be a player that we've had from Fernandinho, David Silva, Company, Aguero, where they're going to stay around for 10 years. We're not going to see that anymore. It's not going to happen. But you still want him to be playing. What do we do now? We about 60 games a season, 60 games a season.
Yeah.
We want to be seeing 40 odd games out of this striker that we bring in. So to be honest, I think I've got to put my faith in the guys who run our club.
Yeah,
they've not really let us down. We've not really had a major disaster. So I think, trust in them to bring in the right player who can get the right deal for City. And at the end of the day, we're going to have somebody pulling on our shirt who's going to bang goals in the onion bag. So
it's going to be nice to have a proper
it's going to be exciting summer. And I think, as one of the guys said previously, it's if we can guarantee getting Haaland in this summer, I think that's better. Obviously, it doesn't come at all. We don't want him staying at Dortmund because he'll go to somebody else, which we don't want. So let's try and prize him out of Dortmund this summer, because it's now or never for him.
Are you wearing a Yankees hat just to trigger me because I had a Mets hat on?
No, not at all. This is my son's hat, and I only picked it up, put it on because I've got bedhead hair. So
same.
I couldn't find my hat. I think my son's nicked my hat, so I just nicked his. So I wouldn't do anything to rile you there, Mulv. That's a bit unfair, isn't it?
So I was just thinking, and we'll move on from the Haaland thing here, Haaland and Kane thing here. But just real quick before we do, I was just thinking, if we did get Haaland, and like you say, he's a Raiola player, and they're not known to hang around too long. Might be the first time that we buy somebody big and actually sell them and make some money on it, and then we could become Premier League champions and net spend champions. So
let's go.
Time to double whammy.
Go on, Ian. Ian is mad for it.
All right.
Absolutely.
So, Ian, I know this game's already been played where you live, but everyone else hasn't seen City versus Everton yet. So, what do you have any?
Man, you hacked it, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was a good game.
That'll send us into. That'll send everybody. That's limbs right there, dude. So what? Pretend you haven't seen it. What do you want to see in the Everton match? Do you want this to be like an actual warm up for the Champions League final, or do you want this to be kind of the last dress rehearsal for the guys that could make the bench? Do you want to mix?
Yeah, I think very much that, Joey. I think Gundo nowhere near the team. I think he needs to rest. We don't want. I think the thing is with Gundo now, teams have actually realised how dangerous player he is. You know, originally everyone was saying, "Oh, you got to stop KDB from playing the balls and get close to him." And then, like, you know, we saw in the 23 game unbeaten run, actually how influential Gundo is in our team. And he's becoming a bit of a target guy. And, you know, we had that horrendous tackle in the last game. But previous to that, teams are nibbling at him and trying to force him out of the game. And if I was a skip manager like Sean Dyche, I'd probably tell my team to go for him as well. So I don't want him anywhere near the team. I probably don't think I need to see Foden either. I think, you know, he showed in against Brighton what he is. We all know, you know, what Foden does. So I think we need to see KDB. I think he needs a few minutes in his legs. Bernardo, you know, he played in the last game. Probably not. So I'll actually might like to see Cole come in and have a few minutes. I think
give us a lineup back to front there, then, Ian. So Walker, because Cancelo's out.
Which of the three goalkeepers do we go?
4 goalkeepers.
4
Kyle
goalkeepers.
Walker. Well, yeah, because Kyle Walker. That's true. I think Ederson's got to come back. Yeah.
I think so. I think Eddie will get the gloves today. And yeah, I think Kyle needs some
This
time.
time travel's fucking crazy.
I've got the flux capacitor here. So
Oh, it was Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, it's Big Ed in net for us. Kyle, yeah, we've not seen him yet. I think Stones and Diaz, I think can. I think we might see one of those. I think we probably might see Stones alongside Laporte.
Yeah, same. Yep.
And I think we'll see. I think, and as I said, Mendy scores a hat trick, so he's in at left back.
Sick.
I don't think we risk Ferner because I think he's going to be nailed on for the final. I don't want, you know, we've got to look after him. He's staying for another year, so that's fantastic. So he will have his minutes managed.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. It's a big Harry Kane show.
Yeah.
We talked about Fernandinho. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Ferner can have some minutes on the bench because, you know, he's going to come on later and he's going to pick the trophy up again.
Yep.
So it's going to be Rodri. He just needs to concentrate. Does Rodney? I think he needs to prove to Pep, even though he's not going to get a starting berth in the final, he still needs to prove to Pep that he could concentrate and not give the ball away like he has been doing. And not only in that game against Brighton, he's given away too many. He's
like
given up possession
and stuff.
You know, silly balls when not under pressure, and he needs to just calm down and do what he was doing during that run that we had, because he was fantastic during that. He was showing really good maturity, playing progressive football. So let's get back to a Rodri that we know we can play. Cole in there, and I think KDB has to be there as well, because I think KDB can hold Cole's hand with that.
Mm-hmm. Like it.
Up front, I think, I think maybe we do start Kun. I think we've got to give him as much time as we can in this game for him to get those 2 goals. Yeah. We don't want Shrek holding that stupid record. So let Kun get those 2 goals, and then he comes off and he gets his standing ovation rather than bringing him on later on. And, you know, because if he comes on later on, it's going to be 60, 65, 70 minutes, and then he's only got 20 minutes to bag a brace. So
Yeah.
and the game ends. And so actually, we could be in control of that. Get him his goals that he needs. Bring him off, standing ovation. And then alongside him, Mahrez did play or started in the last game.
Who?
Raz. Who did you say?
Didn't Mahrez start with
Riyad Mahrez
in the Brighton game?
Personne m'arrête, personne. Hashtag Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez. Personne m'arrête, personne.
Hashtag Riyad Mahrez.
Riyad Mahrez. Yeah.
I'm glad we got to hit all the buttons finally.
Yeah, you got a slow button jockey there. He's then we've got I think Riyad starts, and I think we give Sterling some minutes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice,
I think Sterling needs to have some time there. So that's
Mahrez,
my starting,
Kun,
guys.
and Raz. Okay.
Nice one, Ian. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
It's a good mix. It's a good mix.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think so too.
Resting
need
the
goals.
important players for the final. Certainly Diaz deserves a rest, and let's make sure he's available for the final.
Absolutely.
Lining up nicely. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Absolutely.
We are going to let you go, Ian. We've got a couple more guests waiting.
No worries, boys.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you, Ian.
All right.
All right,
care.
it's all right, mate.
See you soon, guys.
All right,
See ya.
there he goes, Ian.
Well, we're backed up now, so I gotta go grab another beer.
Okay, cool. We're gonna try a double. I think a double. You cool with
Double
that?
break. Everybody just chill out. If you're in the queue, don't leave.
I'm just gonna bring him on. There he is. From MCFC Knoxville, our man Jacob. How you doing, pal?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, mate. Good, mate. Can't wait to chat to you. We're also going to bring on big man, Con 40 from NYC.
Hello.
Let me tell you a quick story. Oh, go on.
Here you go. I was just
No,
going to say
quick
happy
story.
International Tennessee Whiskey Day.
All right. Happy. Is it officially that day?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
International Tennessee Whiskey Day to my friend in Knoxville.
I feel
nice
bad for not knowing that. I'm sorry.
Quick story about your guy Com40 down there. Me and Joey set up a Patreon account. Thanks to all the patrons, by the way. You can go to patreon.com and you can donate just $1 a month just to help support the show, help pay for all of this technology things. But we set it up a couple of years ago, and just more recently got back to it to sort of use it properly and ask people to donate to help. By the time we had gotten back to it, we already had one Patreon, and it was your man Con down. He had somehow found it because we hadn't even mentioned that we had a Patreon. Like, we had set it up and then left it. But when we came back to it, our guy here he was our first Patreon. So big up, Con. Thank you, mate. Tell me if I've forgotten your name.
It's Chris Conforti.
Chris Conforti.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm connecting the dots. All right, nice one, mate. Nice one.
You bet.
Good to have you.
Now,
Cool.
big fan. Love talking with you guys. Happy to hear what everybody's got to say. I've been in and out tonight, so want to have a little banter back and forth, obviously, with the two of you and with Eric as well. And but I don't want to repeat or go over things that have beaten to death. So I'll let you guys lead, and I'm happy to respond.
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
nice one, mate. It's been a night full of Harry Kane, Erling Haaland talk.
Yes.
It's been thoughts on Sunday's lineup. Just generally how you feeling about winning the league again.
Yeah.
That's been great. That's been overlooked a little bit tonight. The fact that we're going to celebrate our fifth title in 10 years. That's
So,
half
Mom,
of
let me
them.
ask.
Not one.
That's
Let me
5
ask
more
you
than we got
this
in the
then.
first 20.
Where
Well-
does this season stack up? Right, you said all these championships, all these trophies for the past 10 years. To me, this season, I'm like sad to see it end, and I don't know if I can say that about some of the other champion titles that we've had, where it was like at the end, it was like a relief when it was over, like the balloon popped, and it was like, it feels good, I can relax, I can enjoy this. But I'm actually sad. We have 2 games left of the season. This team has been so great to watch. It's been such a journey from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
I'm with 2 games left, I'm like, I want to watch them more. I'm not ready to see this all wrap up.
Yeah, I've got mixed emotions, mate. I think there is only one game this season that we missed out on playing on, and that is the FA Cup final, right? Of all the games that a Premier League side can possibly play, we're going to not play in one of them.
Yeah,
that's
kind of
mad. So in that regard, I feel like it's been a very long season, and everything going on in the world. I at first I had a hard time distinguishing this season from last season. It was weird. It was really a no break in between, what have you. So in some regards, I'm sort of happy to see it wrap up. Watch some Euros. That'd be great fun. But you're right. It seems weird in a season that's going so well to want it to end. So yeah, I'm mixed on that. What are you saying, Jacob?
Yeah. So I saw this picture floating around. I want to say it was like from mid-November.
Do you need a potty break, Mulv?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
You trying to kick me off the show?
No, I'm just making sure, dude.
I guess so.
We're going, hey,
that's what I
we're going. Looking at the queue. We're going extra time tonight, Daddy-O. So I'm making sure we're all good here. Keep going, Jacob.
5 minutes of added time. All right.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is like around. I think this was a picture around mid-November of the Premier League table, and it was just the top 10, and City was not in it. I think that tells you how good of a season this has been when you compare it to where we were in November, December. I'm sure y'all have group chat messages from December asking for about 95% of the team being sold.
We have at mentions, dude. We have at mentions.
Mahrez. And you guys like Ilkay Gundogan, who you were wondering when he was going to step up, and then all of a sudden, we have this massive turnaround. Yeah, we have like I think that's the thing with City is like we've had these seasons. We had a 100-point season. We won 14 games in a row to beat Liverpool, but then we have this season where like we're not coasting to 100 points. We're not in a dead heat title race, but it still feels just as good just because of where we came from at the start of the year.
Yeah. Completely agree.
This is a I think if I was going to rank them, Centurions is first. Now, if we win the Champions League, this is first.
Okay. Yeah, all hinges on that.
Centurions is first. 2012 is second. Because, well, not even just Aguero, just what it meant for me as a fan. I mean, it is the Aguero moment, but like, I don't know. Anyone that was around for any amount of time before 2012, like, especially if you were around just like right when the takeover happened or just before or just after, we saw a lot of stuff happen in those like 4 years. And yeah, it was just a lot. The banner coming down at Old Trafford, there was a lot of fun stuff that happened. And then I think this year would probably be number 3. The runaway season would be 4, and then Pellegrini 5.
Okay.
Would that be 2014? Yeah.
13, 14, yeah.
This season's just been so exhausting, you know?
Yeah, that's the good word. I should have said that when Con asked me. Exhausting
it's been exhausting, Conforti. Like we mentioned on the show, 9320 mentions it a lot. And there's like football fatigue is a real thing. Maybe this is going to sound very douchey, so I'm going to just preface it with that. But like, if you're just like watching it, and thanks. Anyway,
monologue.
Dating's weird. Yeah, so like if you're just watching it and stuff, and just listening to podcasts and like watching YouTube things, just going through it like a normal fan, it's probably different. But because we talk about it so much, it does get exhausting, especially this season because it started late and there wasn't a break ever. So it was just every 3 or 4 days there was a game you had to watch and you had to pay pretty much full attention to because you had to talk about it to somebody. And I don't know, it wears on you. It's a beatdown. And I really do feel bad for the guys over like actually in Manchester because I mean, it sounds like some of them haven't been able to go anywhere or do anything. So you're just like sat in the house. Like the 9320 guys do shit. What is it? 3 shows a week, 4 shows a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we only do, 2 max. Like next week is gonna be a gauntlet for us because we're doing like 4. But those guys do a ton and they've been doing it all season. And I just, it's again, very douchey, but it's weirder like on this side.
I get it. I think for the content creators like yourselves and for people doing other podcasts or shows, YouTube streams, there's a different level of dedication that goes into it. And you have to think about, okay, we're going to record on this day and we need to have content and structure that out. Totally get it. But I think my point to Mulv at the beginning is just as a fan who's someone who participates and listens, but I'm not necessarily creating out there. And I'm no one's really paying me for my point of view on this, and the paying part is minimal. But just you see where I'm coming from, right? Like, nobody really cares what I have to say.
Us either.
It's been such a journey, and coming back, and you could feel the momentum. It was kind of like a train as it built up steam, like a locomotive, and seeing it take off. And then there were a couple of twists in that track as it went around some bends. The loss to United fucking pissed me off like nothing else this year, right? Like it hasn't just been smooth sailing even when things were going well. And I really have a ton of respect for Pep and the players and the club and everything, how this has played out. And I'm going to miss it. Next year's going to be a different team. And you look at Phil, he's going to be even better next year. I can't imagine what Foden's going to bring to the table next year and how people who are making decisions are thinking about that with who they bring in. But like I said, I'm a little sad. We got 2 more games left, and then this is going to be done. And no matter what happens against Chelsea, I think it's been an amazing season, a great ride.
Who do you fancy in the Euros, mate? Who are you going to support?
So I support Belgium. I like England. My brother's a big English fan as well. But I've been with Belgium since the last World Cup. You got a lot of City players. I like how they play. I like the coach Martinez. I have some Belgium T-shirts I'll dig out of the closet, and I'll be rocking those this summer.
Are you allowed to do that?
What would prohibit that, Joey?
I had an assumption.
You should have an Italian
connection.
Oh,
Italy? I don't want to get into that because you and Mulv have been throwing darts at my Italian friends for so long.
Sorry, we were. I know.
We've been darts at everybody, mate.
Yeah, don't take it personal. We throw darts at a lot of people. We throw bocce balls at you, but it's
That's okay. Bring it.
It's not personal.
Now, Belgium's the team I've been supporting for the last 4 or 5, 6 years, whatever it is.
I'll just be happy
after they knocked the U.S. I was in Aruba when they knocked the U.S. out of the World Cup. That probably was like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, or something like that.
Brazil, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was not rooting for Belgium that day, but other than that, that's been where I've been.
Jacob, who's your favorite European national team?
So it's actually Belgium as well, and it's 98% of the reason because I play with them on FIFA, and
tight.
They're low key amazing. You run that three at the back with Vertonghen and Alderweireld and company back there, and then just don't worry about like fullbacks who needs them, and go for it, But also like I don't know if I can. I can say it now. He's not there anymore. I love Eden Hazard. So now that he's not at Chelsea, I get to watch him all the time. Yeah, Belgian waffles. And then I don't know if you saw the clip of when they came home after the World Cup, and they had like. I don't know how many people are in that country, but it seemed like all of them were in the city square at that moment. I want to say it was like over 1 million people, and they just had this DJ booth going. And it looked fun. For a team that finished 3rd place, it looked amazing. So
I assume that Belgium and
teams to lose with grace.
I assume that Belgium and Haaland always just have DJ booths around. You know, I just
That and
assume that
ecstasy, yeah.
like Belgium, Holland, and Sweden. I assume there's just always DJ booths in all the towns. Something just happened good for Conforti. I'm guessing it's hockey,
Yankees just won.
baseball. Oh, Yankees, Mulv. You gonna switch hats?
No,
Oh, you were
I
a
don't have
Mets guy.
Yankees hat.
You were a Mets guy.
Yeah,
I'll
but
send you one, Mo.
Okay, cheers.
What size?
Equator size.
No brim.
8 and 3
Yankee
quarters.
hat, no brim. Come your way.
So I did have a question because you guys are pretty knowledgeable about things. So there actually is something going on this weekend in terms for there's two like actual races going on this weekend for positions. The top 4 race is in full force. Relegation, that's done. But as far as top 4, we've got Liverpool in 4th on 66, Leicester in 5th on 66, Chelsea's in 3rd on 67. Villa is hosting Chelsea, Leicester hosting Tottenham, and Liverpool hosting Palace. Do you guys think there's any chance that Leicester crawls back into the top 4?
I do want to say it looks like we're getting a bit of Chris Kamara right now. So was you just looking away and talking into the camera? It looks a little bit like Chris Kamara. I don't know, Jeff. I don't know.
There's been a goal.
How's it, Jeff? I haven't seen it. Sorry, I'm looking at this screen because if I put it up on this screen, it blocks the chat. It's the whole thing. So what do you think? Do you think so? Chelsea in 3rd, away to Villa. Do we have that down as a Chelsea win?
Villa just had a big win this week, right? Did they beat United or who did? I'm sorry, I don't remember who Villa beat, but they pulled something
United.
out.
Was it Everton?
It might have been.
I can't remember.
But yeah. Anyway, I mean they've been good all season.
And that's without Grealish. I don't know. I think it's gonna be amazing to watch at the crapshoot. Mulv, I told you months ago I thought Liverpool was going to finish out of the top 4. I'm not confident in that, but I still think they have the capability of pissing it away. But I think they barely won that game the other day with the header. It's so unlikely that it's likely, if that makes sense.
Okay, I'll allow that. Leicester Spurs at the King Power. What are we thinking, Jacob?
So the one thing I noticed in the table is you have that Europa Conference League thing coming in to play.
Yep.
And
I have that is
Arsenal
one of my
can still-
my things in here because if Everton beats
Arsenal
City,
can
they
still
could be in there.
technically. Yeah, I think if City beat Everton and Leicester beat Tottenham, if Arsenal win, they can still technically get into Europe. And I had one of my Arsenal buddies text me and it was like, we need y'all to beat Everton so we can get in the Europa Conference League. And I was like, that might be the most desperate thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Did you tell him? Did you tell him in the words of my Mank friend Craig? Did you tell him to get to fuck? Because you should have.
I just told him. So disclaimer: he's French and he is also a massive PSG fan.
Is it Patrick
So
Vieira?
he made a bet on. It is not Patrick Vieira, but he will be wearing a Patrick Vieira jersey for the Champions League final. But it'll be a
Tight.
Manchester City jersey and not an Arsenal jersey. So he
That would
lost
be
that
tight if he
bet.
actually owns one.
He doesn't. I'm gonna lend him mine. So
Sick. Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that tells you a lot about where Arsenal are right now. Obviously, I think Tottenham missing out on Europe would be big. But I think the biggest, because I think right now, if everyone wins out, Leicester doesn't make out for. Is that right?
If everyone wins
Leicester,
out,
Liverpool,
yeah. So if Chelsea win and
Chelsea all
Liverpool
win.
win, Leicester cannot get in.
Yep.
Okay. And I
But
think that's
Liverpool have to
probably gonna be the-
overcome Crystal Palace and Roy Hodgson.
I think we're saying come on Palace for sure. Come
Obviously.
on Palace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Come on,
I mean,
Palace.
yeah. I mean, Liverpool can fuck off, but
Up the Crystals. I think is what we're all
Wait,
big
is this
Crystal
at
fans
Palace?
these days.
Is this at Palace?
Nope. It's it is at in Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's at Anfield, but maybe
With fans.
So
with fans. So maybe
yeah,
so
no
I
miracle
think
at Istanbul. Then.
I feel like if they're going to allow fans into the stadium, they should allow the crystals to come up.
Absolutely. Up the crystals, up the eagle that flies in.
Obviously.
Yeah. Eddie the Eagle.
Crystal the Eagle. Shit.
Oh, it's called Crystal, is it?
Shit if I know. I think Eddie the Eagle was the key joke.
Andrew Townsend can just do what he did against us.
All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks so much. That's Jacob out of Knoxville, Chris out of NYC.
Hell yeah.
Big Yankees fan.
Big up yourselves.
Thanks as always, lads. Great
Thanks,
to see
guys.
you.
Cheers,
Great show.
guys.
See you on the
We'll
next
see ya.
one. Bye.
Yep.
Blues.
Ooh.
Okie
Man,
doke.
dude. We have a VIP in the
Oh.
he's back.
Oh, yeah, we
have a
do.
VIP in the queue.
Big time VIP.
I don't know if
And
she's you have to do something? Do something.
No, I have a question lined up for her.
Ooh.
Got a question lined up for her.
Curious to see what this is. Is it related to what's it related to? Give me a hint.
It's related
Or, like, give it
to
away.
I think a lot of the female City fans they're having this guy. They are having this guy.
Man deep.
No, not Mandeep. Not Mandeep. So let's get her on. Here she is.
Go on.
Victoria. How we doing?
Oh, she's just finished the bottle.
Unmute your
You're
mic.
on mute. You sweet,
Unmute
sweet
your
lady.
mic.
Females.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you watch
Sorry.
Friday night, have you watched
There you
Friday
go.
Night Dinner?
No.
You never watched that?
No.
Oh, it's what the
How
dad in it
embarrassing.
always says. The dad in it always says, like, "Are there any females?"
Oh dear. All right. How are you?
What's up,
First of
Vic?
all, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, good.
I like your top. It's a good top.
Going old school.
Yeah, having that.
All right, calm down.
What player comes to mind in that kit?
For me, it's Niall Quinn,
Disco
Disco
who I
pants.
was in love with. Yeah. And I
I
met
had
him
some
when I
shorts
was
like that
about
on the other day.
15 or 16, and it was the first time in my life I'd ever been starstruck. I completely lost the ability to speak, and I was just stood there with my match day program and a pen, and my dad had to come up and was like, "Now, can you have your autograph?" And she's like,
Oh,
'cause
poor
I
Big
thought it was
Dave.
amazing.
Poor Dave.
Unfortunately, he turned out to be a dick after that, but
Oh, yeah. Not
well,
to
he
you.
like turned on City, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Turned into a bit of a
Yeah.
dick. So
Yeah.
He went full Tuscan Raider. Went full Tuscan Raider.
We had another purple one that had white stripes after that one.
yeah, there was a I think
Reebok
it was
one.
Yeah.
That's the Bojanov kit.
Yeah, this is
from
like I think this is like
I don't know why
90
I was picturing
92 maybe.
I was picturing
92,
Bojanov
93.
and Petrov.
This is an original one, so it's like the only size you could get in the replica kits was a men's large, so it's a bit like a muumuu on me, and it's
That's my
also
king-
that really nice polyester, so it gets really
That's my-
sweaty.
That's my King Kwanzaa kit's the same way. So that one is made of cardboard, I think. Like anytime I've ever put it on, it's just the scratchiest thing I've ever had on in my life. And then I've got my King Klodzy one is 97 away, I think. It's like white and maroon diagonals, and then weird yellow
Crest in the
brother
middle.
stuff. Crest in the middle, yeah. Collar. It's bad. It's very itchy.
There you go. That's from the original.
Oh, nice.
So I would be
Yeah.
like
Same top.
14. Yeah, like 14, 15 maybe.
Just down to the shins.
That was the style back then.
Yeah.
Baggy shirt, wasn't it? Yeah.
Feeler turtleneck underneath. Classic.
Forever I love Atlanta.
Hey, I hope you don't mind, Vic.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to pop this question on the screen, and I think
About
you'll
Ruben
enjoy
Diaz.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
Kenny,
we do.
Kenny says we have to talk about Diaz, and he's right.
Yeah,
And none
we
of
do.
this. What is this Diaz bollocks? I hear podcasts, and they'll say one sentence will say Ruben Diaz, And then
Yeah.
the next, like they're trying to be some sort of hipster clowns, right? Diash. And then the next, very next sentence, they'll say Bernardo.
So this is a shot at Main Road Ramble.
I think so. Because you can't say Diash and then in the next sentence say Bernardo. It's Diash and Bernardo.
Bernardo.
Or it's Diaz and Bernardo. It's
Diaz
not.
and Bernie.
Yeah, you can't be for one name deciding you're going to get real hipster with it, and then the other names just, ignore the fact that they're from.
I have a bone
Portugal.
to pick with saying names wrong.
Anyways,
and they're all asleep right now, so I can say it. One of them, I think you have the drop on your thing over there. He's a host on this show that consistently pronounces this man's name wrong. They say Cancello.
Oh yeah,
as if he's some kind of Italian.
Yeah, yeah.
And this host never corrects them. It's Cancello.
Is it hipster though, or are they trying to pronounce it in like
they're trying to
the
pronounce it
native
correctly.
language, like when people like talk really broad and then suddenly go bruschetta.
Yeah,
when it's like it's bruschetta, mate. Just order me some bruschetta, and I'll be back in a minute. It's bruschetta.
It's the consistency for
bruschetta.
me. That's all. It's the consistency.
We went to Paris for our honeymoon, for part of it at least, and humble brag. And we ordered a what's them plates? Yeah. What's them plates with all the cheese and the meat on them?
Charcuterie.
Yeah, that's what we said. All right, pal. We'll have a charcuterie. And he looked at us like I was speaking Chinese to him, and he goes, charcutière. I was like, I don't give a shit, dude.
I mean,
bring out the meat and the cheese, dude.
You were also in Paris. You could
Look
speak
at me.
fluent French perfectly,
Look at
and
me.
they would still talk back to you like you're an idiot.
Ain't nobody in Paris look like this. If somebody was walking around Paris like this, they'd probably think he was like actually important. And speaking fluent French, not happening. Not happening.
Yeah, we definitely need to talk about Diaz. I can start by saying I was a little bit upset this week because it was his birthday, and I did get my calculator out and worked it out that I was working in a bar in Greece the year he was born, which I think makes me like a dirty old lady for some of the things I've been thinking about him.
I knew it.
Was like, yeah, that was the last year
What's
I
that
worked
mean?
in Greece, and then I went to university. And I was
What have
just
you been
like,
thinking?
It's not. I can't.
It's after
say
dark
it's,
now.
It's even after Watershed. It's not suitable.
No, we get a lot of the same vibes up at the pub.
You what?
Yeah, the
real
pub.
real X videos stuff.
Yeah, he's a man mountain I'd happily climb.
Yeah.
Woo! Champions.
No, what a phenomenal player, and to get
Oh, that's okay.
the
Got it.
PFA Player of the Year as well, first defender in 1989.
It's
last
the
time
other one. It's the football writers, isn't it?
Oh, the football writers. Okay.
Yeah. Yet to see if he's going to win the players. We'll see. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think you will.
But just
Who else do you give it
incredible,
to?
and I don't know whether it's the fact that he is very young.
Fit.
We'll gloss over that. That he just seems completely
Built
fearless
like a
and
brick
just,
shit house.
Yeah, throws
Yells a
himself
lot.
into there's
Anything
no
he
fear.
wants to, really. Am I right?
But it's different than like saying Otamendi. Why is he different than Otamendi, who also threw himself about?
So I think the difference with Diaz is he's got that leadership quality, and that's a natural thing.
Oh.
You either have it or you don't. You might be able to develop bits of it, but you either have it or you don't. And Vinny had it, and that's what we've been missing since Vinny left, is that natural leadership ability. And also, all the players that go out there want to win, but it clearly means a lot more to him. To drag one of his teammates by their head to get into position.
Do you ever think about that?
Short and
That's my
sweet.
favourite.
Short and sweet.
Is
From
it?
City's lack of
Yeah.
talent is the difference between Otamendi and Diaz.
So you're a big fan of Diaz's like passion and physicality.
Yes. And leadership.
Nice.
He's got that leadership
Well, true.
to
Yeah.
him too.
That's
He's the all-round package.
So you're a big fan of just big fan of his package, is what you're saying.
Very, yeah, definitely a big fan of his package.
Nice.
Wow, this has gone off the rails a bit. I want to acknowledge the Kipax Foden in the chat, who has sold about half our team in the chat. But does occasionally get something right. And Foden, the GOAT, I agree with you, mate. Well said.
Agreed.
Vic-
I'm hoping Foden scores next weekend in the Champions League final. Just so it's
Obviously.
like everybody just spams that Neil Custis tweet again. Like
Yes, classic.
Oh, he's gonna be
it's
on
like
the bench
trending worldwide.
He'll be on the bench
because
for
of
the
that.
next 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
How shit are the Custis brothers, by the way?
Neil Custis is trending globally for that stupid tweet that he posted.
I got a question for you, Vic, and it's not
Yeah.
City related. I don't know if you pay attention or not. So the playoffs that are going on right now, the championship playoffs.
Yep.
So we got Barnsley.
Barnsley. Did anybody see that video of that bloke in Barnsley with the crossbow?
What?
It was very much like a meanwhile in Barnsley moment.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a fella in city centre with
So
a crossbow.
is Barnsley like a Kentucky situation where it's just like, well, of
I've
course
never
that's
been to
happening.
Kentucky. Barnsley
Arkansas.
is a bit like a cross between like Middle Earth and where Game of Thrones was filmed.
Oh,
Without
yeah, West
the exciting
Virginia.
dragons.
Yeah, West Virginia. Well,
Ah.
West Virginia, Kentucky, we'll count it.
I worked in Barnsley for a little bit and I could not understand anything anybody was saying, and they couldn't understand me. And it was only a little bit up the road from where I actually lived, but very strange place.
So we got Barnsley taking on Swansea. Swansea's up 1-0, and we've got Bournemouth and Brentford. Bournemouth's up 1-0. Do you care if any which one of those comes up? Because Norwich and
so not Norwich because
Norwich is already coming up.
So yeah, not one of my best friends from university is an Ipswich fan, so can't be Norwich.
Too late.
You're ride or die, aren't you, for your mates?
Yeah, yeah.
So Norwich,
No,
Norwich and Watford are already coming back. So it's between
okay.
Brentford, Swansea, Barnsley, and Bournemouth.
So I'd have to go Barnsley for the northern aspect,
Just for John Stones.
and also for John Stones, who I also have a recurring dream about.
And for Jon Snow.
Is it about like so? Is the dream about like you trying to beat both center backs and score a goal, or?
No, I have a recurring dream that I'm shopping at Meadow Hall in Sheffield with John Stones, and then we go to the Oasis food court and have a Pizza Hut. We have a deep pan pizza. It's very innocent, but it's the same dream over and over again.
That's such a like a teenage girl dream to have. Just like a sweet like little like he's gonna be my boyfriend. We're gonna go get Pizza Hut.
It's the same thing every day, and then we have a deep pan pizza.
I'm gonna
Hut
take him
and
to
watch
Arndale, and we're gonna have a sparrow.
Watch the big telly in the Oasis. Yeah. No, I would probably say Barnsley, even though it's a weird place, because of the northern aspect. Other than that, maybe Brentford.
Brentford.
They're possibly the shittest out of that group. I kind of like Swansea because of I like their mascot. I like Cyril the Swan.
Okay. Very only in the UK name, by the way. Cyril.
Nice one, Cyril. Nice one.
That name will never
Cyril.
show up anywhere else in the country.
I know two Cyrils. Cyril
You couldn't.
Regis was one, former West Brom, I think, and Cyril was the name of the bloke, the City fan from the "Look What It's Done to Me" video.
The old guy,
the old guy,
crying guy.
I used to be 6'5" and have curly hair. Look what it's done to me. His name was Cyril. He rests in peace, by the way. He died recently.
Oh.
Wow. Way to bring the show down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you what. So just my input on it. Brentford. I really, really hope that's the team that comes up. So
Why's
Brentford has given us Ollie Watkins.
Hmm.
Brentford has given us Brian Mbeumo, who's still there. They've also given us the next Riyad Mahrez, who is currently at West Ham. That's right. Ben Rama, that's his name.
Oh yeah.
Saeed Ben Rama. But Brentford they actually play good football, and all they've done over the last 4 years, I think, is just play good and sell their players to better teams. So I kind of hope they come up just because as a reward, you know, like good on you for continuing to bring in good players, even though your players keep getting poached and you play the right way. And then was it Barnsley's manager that just took over, or was it Brentford's manager that just took over at New York Red Bulls, which I think is one of the funnier moves in football to go from like the championship at either Brentford or Barnsley
to New York. That's a big step.
Do you think there's a culture shock there?
Yes. Although I'm sure there's parts of New York that are a bit like Barnsley, no doubt.
Rochester.
No doubt. I was very happy to see Sheffield Wednesday get relegated, though, because, again, around the time I got the shirt originally, I was at high school in Sheffield and getting bullied mercilessly for being the only Manc in the village and a Man City fan, because we were very shit. So I'm very happy to see that we are winning yet another Premier League title and we're in the Champions League final, and they've just got relegated to the 3rd tier.
They were in big trouble. So they started the season with like a 12-point deduction because they did no.
Oh, they were naughty, weren't they?
Yeah, they did no good at finances.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to do a city in terms of where they put their money. And, didn't work.
Do the Arctic Monkeys? Do they support one of the Sheffield sides?
I think United.
Probably, but Sheffield's one of the very few cities in England that is pretty much a 50-50 divide on who people support. It's not significantly one or the other. And it tends to be more family-based than even anything geographical, because both the clubs are right slap bang in the centre of Sheffield. So you're never sure with Sheffield as to which team people support. But I think they might be Sheffield United.
I think they're Blades.
Right.
Bloody Arctic Monkeys from Sheffield, England.
Well, what else, Vic? What else is on your mind?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
So have we talked about Sunday and it being Sergio's last Premier League game and how we're all feeling about that?
Briefly, honestly. It's been one of the lesser talked about things for the last 2.5 hours.
Because then obviously it was very upsetting last year with David's last match, and none of us could be there. Similar thing this time, but thankfully, like, some fans can be there.
Yeah, I love that.
Good, and I'm sure they'll do some kind of testimonial in the future that we'll all be able to fly over to and go to. But I'm trying not to think about it too much because I am getting emotional, and I know I'll get very teary-eyed on Sunday because it's huge. It is the end of an era without wanting to be a cliche, and he's done so much for the club. And he's also just such a nice bloke. How's Mrs. Mulv taking it?
I think that's the best part.
We just don't talk about it. It's going to hit this home quite hard for sure. Just the sheer quality in the guy. He's had me drop to my knees so many times in the pub with just brilliance, pure brilliance. Goals I'd never seen before as a City fan, just out of nothing. The way he hits the ball is peak. The noise the goal makes when he scores.
Him and Kev. Him and Kev have a special touch.
Yeah.
When it hits the net, it goes.
But if you remember as well, when he first came, and it was, he's never going to succeed because he's too small. He's very small, and he, Premier League too physical. He won't make it. And I mean, proved all
They
of that wrong. It's just
They forgot
one
about
of those.
They forgot about them chunky thighs, didn't they?
Well, exactly. He has got them big old thighs.
Who doesn't
balance
love a
on.
thick boy? Am I right, Vic?
Exactly. I mean, Paul Walsh was the original small boy for City.
Mm-hmm.
Big bottom smalls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm genuinely nervous about.
And I think, and then
Sunday.
you've got, so they're going to do the trophy lift with Colin Bell's son,
Yep.
Jakey, the kid that had the brain tumor operation.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the Sergio farewell. It's going to be a lot.
It's a ton. Yeah,
It's gonna be a
I
lot.
tell you what, I don't know if we ever got, and we probably won't for a while. I don't think we ever got like proper closure on the David Silva thing.
Yeah.
No.
You know, like I
No.
still don't, because I vividly remember Yaya. I vividly remember Pablo. I vividly remember Vinny. I don't remember shit about David leaving. You know, it was just
Well, as Mo said earlier
the
on,
season
like,
ended, and then now he's at
Yeah.
Sociedad.
but as Mo said earlier on, with what everything else that was happening last year, last season just merged into this season.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like there was a definitive end and start. So we'll just wipe off last season. Liverpool never won anything.
This
Just
is a
straight
great
into this
idea.
season.
The Aguero versus Silva testimonial.
Yeah, Gaz,
Yeah.
was that had to have been just because through the internet I know what kind of guy you are. That was you that sent the two lineups, right? For the Aguero Silva testimonial. That was basically, so we'll have to do it on the show, Mulv, because we have to like actually sit down and look at things. Pick an 11 for the Aguero team and the Silva team for players they played with at their club and their country.
Wow.
Whoa.
Don't want to think about how much the tickets for that are going to be.
$13 probably. Oh, Ian, that's a big ass, dude. I don't know if she can do it
Some
this late.
potatoes.
Well, yes, let's go.
Oh, so sultry. Feels good.
One take. It's always one take.
One take Gregory is what they call you.
Unless Mulv tells me there's too much clipping and I have to go and do it again.
Oh, he's like that with you too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I'm just glad I'm not the only one that's been on the end of a scolding when it comes to production stuff. That's good to know. So, Vic, how's before you go, because I do have, I feel like you're an important person to ask this question to. Where does this? Conforti asked us this question earlier. Where does this title rank for you amongst the five?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I was on Radio Manchester last week and they asked me this, but they really confused me because they said in the 3 titles, and I was thinking there's been 5, but they actually meant Pep's. Obviously, 93-20 is always going to be the best.
Oh, radio friends.
Yes, I was on BBC Radio Manchester.
Oh, is Nada still there? I miss Nada.
I don't know. It was with Phil Tro on like the afternoon drive time.
You know who I hated from that thing?
No.
What's that dumb idiot's name from Happy Mondays?
Something Ella. Rowetta.
We're the biggest club in the world. We're Manchester United. We're the biggest club in the world. Shut up, dummy. Know your place, dude. Anyway,
I was also
sorry,
once
Vic.
on BBC Radio Manchester with Paul Lake, which was nice.
So
anyway,
I feel like we're just talking about Vic's.
Yes.
Door.
The Victoria Gregory show, everyone.
The Victoria Gregory list.
Meat
potatoes for sure.
Definitely 93-20.
21st.
That's a given. Like that, everything about that will never be repeated. Like the fact that Manchester United thought they'd won it, the way we won it, Aguero's goal, everything. Nothing's going to beat that.
Right.
It's difficult to rank the rest. And I did afterwards think about it. Obviously, the one when we had Johnny Marr in the pub.
Oh
was
wow,
epic.
yeah,
Friend of the
brilliant.
show, Jonathan Marr.
Which was also winning it on the last day.
Mm-hmm. That was the
Ham.
Liverpool
And it's
one.
very
Brighton.
nice. Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, it's very nice to have it wrapped up early. But there is something about that last day of the season for everything coming together and looking at other scores and figuring everything
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
I kind of miss that. Even
Did we
though
not also win last game of the season against West Ham?
Yeah,
When-
2014.
When Pellers was okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So the Liverpool
Yeah.
one was
Nasri and
against
company.
Southampton when Gabby scored.
Oh,
And Pep-
100
Pep-
points. Oh
Pep
my
lost
god.
so
his mind.
Centurions. So I'd probably go 93-20 Johnny Marr, Centurions, and then the other two.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Me too.
this one's more difficult because it's been during this pandemic year. It's been bobbins.
Yep.
This is the longest I've gone. I mean, without a visit to England, but not seeing the match in person,
Mm-hmm.
but also just a visit to England. So hopefully be able to do that for the start of the new season, and we can plan a trip out there when nobody needs to be quarantining and getting 20 tests and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
We can get that organised.
Looking
this is-
forward.
This has been the longest
Call-in show.
I mean, no, well, that too. But like before, so like before I was a City fan, like this was the longest I've been without just like watching games with other fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's. I mean, again, if you've seen me watch games in person, you know I usually need some support. It sucked. It's really brutal. So
Yeah.
I am hoping that like even if City doesn't come back over here in the summer, I'm hoping, I don't know, the supporters clubs, which I know Vic is very involved in, or somebody can put something together where, I don't know, maybe we kind of tool around a little bit, and you know, different parts of the country kind of link up together and do something,
Yep.
you know, because
Yep.
Texas.
Vic,
There's 4 groups in there.
Vic, you are a. I mapped it the other day. You're like an 8-hour drive or like an hour and a half.
I was
flight.
about to say you're always welcome in Chicago.
Ooh,
Love a bit of Chicago.
Can I bring the wife?
Yeah, you can both come. I've got stay in the
Oh.
guest room. Yep.
You're welcome here too. Our guest room is bigger than the master. So if you wanna come to the land, we can go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We can drink in Rockefeller's old bank vault. Actually, one of the cooler things you can do here. You have to know where it's at, but you can drink in the so the old Cleveland Bank and Trust is underneath a hotel that's downtown, and you can drink in Rockefeller and Carnegie's old vaults.
Wow, that's very cool.
Hell yeah, dude!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mulv,
but
you come up here and have like a tea or Dr.
Yeah,
Pepper
you
or
can-
something.
You can come around my house and have a brew. Yeah.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
2.5 hours.
Definitely new season. You know, everybody gets fully vaccinated, no quarantines, no PCR tests required. We'll plan some trips here to round the US and Canada, and then we'll look to do a trip back
Yes,
to the motherland and get some Gregs in. I need some Gregs.
absolutely.
And
If
see
you're,
my
um,
family.
Say
See my
less.
family. It's not just like the pecking order of Greg's Man City family. It's
If
sort of just all grouped together. But yeah.
if someone's watching and they're not already a member of a supporters group here in the US, where should they go?
supportersclubs.mancity.com.
Boom.
You can do a little search to see if there's already an established branch locally to where you are. If there's not, you can join another branch. You don't have to be in a branch that's down the road from you. But if there's a few of you together in the same place and there's not a branch, you can start your own branch.
There you go.
And
And
there's
there's
lots of
literally-
benefits to that.
Literally no better time to do that than right now. because this year has been a nightmare, and next season you could start off on the right page with either a new group or joining a group that already exists.
And thinking about, there's been this ballot for the last match this weekend, obviously the Champions League, and that's been for season ticket holders primarily. But when we are back to full capacity in the stadiums, the supporters clubs get tickets as well to both home and away matches for every competition. So when we're in the Champions League final next season, and wherever it's going to, I'm assuming it's probably going to go back to Istanbul, but we can all go to Istanbul for a proper away day.
Let's go. Bernardo Silva.
Running down the wind. Yeah, exactly.
Kebabs and shawarma all around. All right.
Nice one, Vic.
Yeah, Vic, thank you so much.
Thank you, as always.
It's
a pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you before the end of this year, hopefully, for some hugs. Hugs and beers.
We'll be in touch, actually. I'll text you. Okay.
Chicago's opening up.
Thank you so
come
much.
Visit.
Ooh.
See ya.
See you, Vic.
See you, kid.
Bye.
There goes Vic.
Everyone, that's the show.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for staying up late, joining us on the longest call-in ever. It's really flown by, honestly, because we've
it's
had
good,
so
good
many
laugh.
people involved. Thank you, everyone in the chat. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and again, click on Helen's bell. That way you know every time that we are going live or we post a new video. At NoisyPod on Twitter, if you want to follow us over there, or go find us on Facebook. Hashtag AskNoisyPod if you want to ask us a question on Twitter. It just makes it easier for us to find amongst all of the other notifications and stuff we get. If you like what we've done, for as little as $1 a month, you can go to patreon.com/NoisyPod and support the show. Basically become a producer of the show. And you help us do cool stuff like this and some of the other stuff we have planned for the summer and next year. Keep an eye out if you're not a subscriber of 9320. We haven't even talked about this. There's a giant mashup going on Wednesday between 9320, us, Esteemed Company, City Extra, Main Road Ramble, and Blue Moon Podcast. That'll be coming out, I'm assuming, Wednesday afternoon here or Thursday morning. I don't know, but that's a thing that's happening. Again, Hunter,
Big
I see
mashup.
patreon.com/NoisyPod. You can find it there. We'll also be on the Total Talk Football Show later next week. That'll be Thursday. That'll be on YouTube. Total Talk Football Show. You see Mulv and I there.
Season review, innit?
Yeah, season review, 5 p.m. Eastern. For that, go to our Twitch channel. If you want to subscribe to that, I will be starting that up this summer. We will be doing a Football Manager show where we take over City in 2001 with,
At Main Road.
Simon Colosimo, Danny Tiato, Richard Dunn, Steve Howie, Jeff Whitley, Paolo Wanchop,
Nikki Summerby.
Nikki Summerby is sitting there. We've got a goalkeeper battle between Nikki Weaver and Carlo Nash. And we've got a young up-and-coming goalkeeper in the academy named Casper Schmeichel, who's 15 years old. So go and subscribe, twitch.tv/NoisyPod. That'll start up this summer. That's it. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm assuming that's Lord of the Rings. I don't watch any of that virgin shit. Anyway, until next time, everybody, Jesus Christ, this has been awesome. We are the Noisy Neighbors Podcast. Joey, Mulv. See you later. Ta-ra.
Deuces.
Boom.